record on this. Yes, welcome once again. And good that we are very few in numbers. Some people might join again a little late, but let's have a small round of introduction. If we know a few people earlier. We know Saket ji, I know Ashita. Hanumanta ji is new to me. Yes, Hanumanta ji, if you can just talk about yourself. What are you doing? Where are you from?
Good evening, Alok. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, okay. I am Anmant. I am into business development with a pharma company.
Okay.
For the last 30 years, I'm into business development, marketing, and sales.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically a veterinarian by profession, and I have. I just wanted to take up coaching as a profession going
Okay.
forward.
Sure.
So I just initiated my ICF
Mm-hmm.
credentialing. I've
Okay.
started the journey, not yet
Okay.
completed it, of course.
Okay.
I
Good.
have completed my certifications of both ACTH and the PCC levels from
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese,
Okay.
and I am trying to go forward on that. That's
Good.
about me.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing the details. Welcome,
Thank you.
Palmi. Good. So I know most of the people here, you were new. I know Palmi, I know Ashita, I know Sakatji. So this entire workshop, this 2-day workshop is going to be on clarity. And why I brought this topic, because every coach is talking about strategies. They are talking about generating leads and sales and, creating content, building brand. Everything is a part of clarity. Correct. But I wanted to tell you and know about you what do you mean by clarity and why clarity is important in your business, in your life. Actually, I always treat business and life together. These two things are always related. Correct. So before we start, I told you we are a little few minutes ahead of time. So I wanted to know from you, what do you mean by clarity? Anyone can initiate and just talk. See, this is going to be very interactive session because I don't believe in bringing a crowd. So maybe 5 to 10 people or maybe 12 people would be there. I know there would not be much people. So I want every one of you to participate and actively participate, because it should not be like a one-way communication from me only. It has to be a two-way communication so that I also feel good about it, and I also keep a check like what's going on in your mind and what are you learning. And mind it, we are going to do a lot of activities here. Why this is a workshop? Because I want to do certain activities right here to make you clear on certain aspects of life. Okay, I can see Shahar. Welcome, Shahar. Seeing you after a long time. Hope you're doing good. Okay, maybe she might take some time. So Shahar is from Pakistan. I know her very well. She is a coach as well. Good. So it's been almost now. The time is there, 7 o'clock. We'll be starting. I cannot do injustice with people who are in time. I started 5 minutes early just to make sure that we settle in time and we start in time so that we finish in time. Because I have, literally uh, segregated a lot of things, lots of concepts into this, which I wanted to share with you. So 2 hours I have taken. I hope you will be available with me for 2 hours, because end of the 2 hours, I'm gonna do one special exercise, which is about knowing your clarity index, I would say. In between also we'll be doing certain other things. Yeah. So that we keep on doing things in a systematic way, and lots of learnings are gonna happen. We have Mitu Rao as well. Welcome, Mitu. Good to see you. So let's start. I think uh, small group, good learnings, and let's get going. Yeah. Good evening once again to all of you. And let me start with what I have prepared for you. Okay. So here I go. This is a clarity quest workshop. As you all know, the name itself is sufficiently, okay to tell you that we are going to talk about clarity. Clarity where and how, that we are going to cover. Correct? But did you ever think about why this topic? This is what I feel, and this is what I have written here. See, this PPT, I make all my PPTs on my own, although I have a team. But this is whatever comes to my mind, actually, I put it here on the screen, on the slides. So I have seen people getting lost, actually. People are getting lost because somebody is talking about one set of activities, somebody is talking about another set of activities, and A person who is a beginner, they are not able to decide what to do and how to do. So people are lost in minds, people are lost in clarity, people are lost in actions. That is why I brought this topic. And I told you in the beginning that I'm not going to talk about any specific strategies related to business today. That I'll be going to cover tomorrow. Whatever clarity concepts we are going to use here, learning today, we'll be implementing the same concepts tomorrow exactly in our businesses. So that is why I've kept this 2 days a workshop, right? We are going to do lots of activities. Welcome everyone. Welcome Hemant ji, welcome Meena ji, welcome Anshul ji, everyone. Good to see every one of you. Okay, so let's go. Now I want to give you a picture in your mind. And this is going to be entirely mind-boggling, and there would be lots of mindset shift which I'm going to give you today. So whenever you feel like, please do let me know what is that bulb moment which has literally given you that kind of a moment. Right now I'm going to give you a picture. Imagine you are on the bed, early morning, you are on the bed, right? And as and when you open your eyes, you start thinking about Tony Robbins. He is a motivator. You talk about Gary Vaynerchuk. You talk about Sadhguru. You talk about any big influencer and motivator who are talking about positivity and motivation. Right now, you are highly motivated in the morning, right? Highly charged. Today, I'm gonna do a lot of things. Now, when you say today I'm gonna a lot of things, you're not clear what all things you're gonna do, right? So what happens? You are highly charged early in the morning, but you are not clear in your mind that what are your steps? What are you going to do? First, second, third, how you are going to plan your day. You are not clear in your mind, actually. So, motivation doesn't work that way. So, I'm going to give you a contradictory statement about motivation and other things because I want to put everything in clarity. And I'll make sure that these things are very much clear in your mind, right? Now, why are we here? We are here, and why you are here? Because we are trying to find the missing elements. Missing elements, what? Where? In a business, especially, we are talking about. I'm into business coaching, so definitely it's business. I'm not going to talk about life, but actually, it is correlated, right? Understanding unlearning the older concept. You might be learning something somewhere. There are a lot of concepts, old concepts, new concepts. So I'm gonna tell you to unlearn the old concept and learn the new concepts, validating your understanding as well. People are very much happy saying that I'm doing everything right, but is it really right? You're not sure. So how you're going to validate your understanding and understanding clarity? So these are few things which I'm going to cover. Welcome Divakar ji, everyone, once again, right? Okay, so fair warning I'm going to give you. You are entering a high reforming thought arena. Highly reforming thought arena. Why I'm saying this? Why I'm giving an warning? Because I'm gonna tell you certain things which would, in the first instance, you might not actually digest it. That's why this warning is there. So keep your mind open. I'm not going to repeat few things which you might have heard and learned in different webinars, seminars, and books. There are certain things, certain elements which are going to literally blow your mind and might be raising multiple questions. So have patience. We'll be taking questions as well, and I'll be giving answers to everything which it's coming to your mind. Right? Okay. So if I say you don't have a motivation problem, you have a clarity problem, how many of you agree to this? How many of you agree to this that you don't have a motivation problem, you have a clarity problem? Let me know. You can put it in the chat as well. No issues. Right? Or even unmute yourself. This is a meeting setting. I'll be not holding anyone back. So you can tell me in the chat or open your mic and speak it out.
Yeah, so for me, it's the clarity thing, and especially after you have designed your first level.
Yeah.
Especially after that, you just kind of get lost that what should be the next, how it should be designed. You know what, but how it should be designed and all is like a lost thing.
Correct. So that's a fair thing which everybody has. You don't have a motivation problem, I know. Everybody is highly motivated to achieve certain things in their life, in their business, but you have a clarity problem, right? So this workshop would act as a platform where your brain will meet your eyes. When I say clarity, what does it mean? Your brain thinks and your eyes see. That is a clarity. Am I right or wrong? So this,
And the cognitive coordination between these minds and whatever we are seeing. And
yes, exactly. So I don't want to put that buzzwords, cognitive, philosophies and words. So I make it very simple. You know my ways of doing it. You have been there on my workshop for multiple times. So I want to make it simpler in simpler words. So the brain and the eyes, the coordination between the brain and the eyes. The brain should think, and then I should see. That is when we start acting, right? That is what I call clarity, right? So what are you going to learn in these 2 days? Day one, we are going to talk about clarity, brain functions, clarity audit, and clarity actions, right? New concepts, new philosophy, or I can say these are the new things which nobody talks about. Let's talk about day two. We're going to apply this clarity principle in your business. That is tomorrow. So stay connected. So now I wanted to take your permission to share my introduction. I know a lot of people here know me because we have already been in contact with you. There are a few new people like Hemanta ji is new to me, and maybe Hemant Kumar is also new to me. I don't know them personally, but most of the people I know. So do I have the permission to give my short introduction here? Is it okay? Good. Thank you so much. So, oh, the slides. Yeah. So who am I? Let me talk about myself. I'm an engineer. I'm BTech in manufacturing engineering from NIMT Ranchi, which is National Institute of Advanced Manufacturing Technology. I've done my post-graduation in business administration from Emeritus Institute of Management, Singapore, and I'm a certified digital marketeer from IIT Delhi. I've been a seasoned professional with 24 plus years of experience, and I have done turnover of more than $90 million throughout my career since beginning. It's been 24 years. I worked in corporates, multinational companies, and in the last 14 years, that is my own entrepreneurship journey. Right. So I've been into coaching since 2020, and I've helped more than 1,500 coaches across the globe, and the counting is going on. Right. So this is in short. There are a lot of personal stories which I don't want to put it here. As and when we go, if required, I'll give you certain examples of what I do and how I do, what challenges did I face. But this is in short about me, right? There are people who don't believe in educational qualifications, but I do believe in, because this is the learning which I have taken, and I have spent years and years doing this. So that's my core strength, and I'm putting all of my this learning into this coaching arena. So that's in short about me. Was it crisp? Did I take much time? Okay, good. So let's start day one with some shocking facts. Yes, shocking facts. Why I'm saying shocking facts, you'll come to know. So these are certain shocking facts which you might not have realized till now. Why your brain treats motivation like a sugar rush. We are highly, highly motivated. We feel highly motivated when we hear somebody talking good about something, right? We listen to good motivational speakers and we get highly, highly motivated, right? That's like a sugar rush, correct? But it is very actually terrible for the long-term success actually. Why? Because once you get highly motivated, you are highly charged, you have lots of energy at that moment, but slowly that energy goes off because we don't have clarity. Now I am going to talk about motivation and clarity parallelly, and then we'll be moving forward towards clarity in a better way, right? So that is why I told you that this is a shocking fact which you might be knowing. If you don't know, please make a note of all these things, that motivation is like a sugar rush. It is there. It helps you to literally boost, but slowly it goes down. Second, the real reason successful people seem to have endless energy. Why do you see that a lot of people, they are highly, highly energetic all the time? Correct? Again, because they are clear what they want to do. Okay, we're going to talk about it. How clarity can make decision making as easy as breathing. We breathe since we have taken birth, and we breathe till we die. So your clarity should be as simple as breathing, and this clarity will make you take a decision as easy as breathing. Correct? And why most advice about finding your passion are dead wrong. People are talking about finding a passion, right? Again, this is a wrong advice, I would say. I'm going to talk about that as well. The counterintuitive way, constraints, right, can skyrocket your productivity. Now, there are ways, and there are different ways where you can skyrocket your productivity. We're going to talk about that as well. So, end of day one, today, by almost 9 o'clock, we'll be having a clarity audit exercise and clarity action notes. And in between also, we are going to, I'll give you certain assignments right here. Again, hardly a few minutes, no, a few seconds to do certain exercises, which will give you clarity. This is what we're going to do. Right? So buckle up, because we are about to dive deep into the murky waters of human psychology, neuroscience, and the billion-dollar motivation industry. Right? So are you all ready? Are you all ready? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes. Are you ready to gain some clarity? Yes. Yeses. I'm waiting for the yeses. Please say, or put in the chat. Let's keep on communicating. Yes. So that is my energy. If you keep on communicating with me, I'll be again in a high energy state, and I'll keep on going again. Right. So ready. You are ready. I'm also ready. So why clarity? Anybody wants to say why clarity? I'll be keeping on asking questions. So don't worry on that. Yeah.
Clarity, because it's basically once we start working, there are a lot of ambiguity, there are a lot of confusion. So, which we can say in terms of like, mental clarity, there is lack of mental clarity, there is a confusion in thoughts, confusion in decision making.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that whatever we do professionally, here I'm talking about, say in our business or in our any initiative,
Yeah.
clarity is important, because that ambiguity or that sense of oscillation can create a lot of confusion. As you were saying, like whatever we see on the internet, it always seems that there are opportunity in everything.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that we jump into everything and everything is meant for us. So there are
Correct.
certain things that which we are good at. There are certain things we need to learn.
Yeah.
There are areas of improvement, and there are certain things which is not meant for us.
Correct.
So when we have absolute clarity, we can focus on our strength and
True.
nurture those things well. We can learn, relearn, and we can apply those in our day-to-day business activities. I think that is why clarity is one of the most important factors. Right from building the foundation, clarity is going to help us.
Very true. Very nicely explained. So I don't need to explain much. Paulimi has given a very nice answer. So I'm going to cover as simple as that. Clarity in mind is clarity in action. As simple as that. Because if we are not clear in minds, how we are going to do these activities, correct? So make it simpler. Now, first we have to tackle what? To get this clarity in mind so that we are clear in our actions, we have to first of all tackle the motivation myth, right? I was talking since beginning. What is this motivation myth? See, there is a motivation industry, right? Everybody, there are motivational speakers, correct? So what they are doing? They are giving you some morning routines. They are pumping you for a lot of activities with affirmations, and you suddenly, what happens is, transform. They'll be thinking, and you will be also thinking that by doing this motivational exercises, you are suddenly transforming into a productivity powerhouse. Does it work that way? Practically. So I'm very practical. I have been into motivational sessions. I have been into hearing motivational speakers. The moment we see and we hear, at that time we are what do you say, hypnotized for some moment, right? And the moment it is gone, when you start thinking logically, you think, oh, this is not going to work, or you again lack clarity, and this motivation myth is not going to take you anywhere. So I'm not against any industry I'm talking about, but I'm going to give you a clarity. This clarity is actually blurred because of this motivation myth. That is why I brought this thing into picture, right? Okay. So the uncomfortable truth, most of what you have been told about motivation is completely BS. Why? Because I told you, it's like, a heat of the moment, we feel like, everything is perfectly fine. But the moment we are away from that, that motivation level goes down. Am I right? Have you felt like that? Right? Okay. So now there are people who are talking about vision boards. Yes, I definitely want to have you a goal. But just by putting a vision board on in front of your eyes, are you going to achieve that? Right? So again, it is like, you are putting dollar sign on the dartboard, you are hitting the dartboard and you're saying that you are going to earn dollars. It's not like that. So vision boards are good for keeping you aligned with your goals. But that is just, again, as I said, it's just a What do you say? It's a symbol of you being focused. Correct? Now, what do motivational speakers do? They're selling your emotional cocaine. You might be, feeling a little bit casual because these words are highly, highly powerful. These people are selling you emotional cocaine, and that is why you crash. The moment you take that cocaine, you feel like highly energetic, and the moment the effect of the cocaine is gone, you are again either looking for that same cocaine again. Without that, you're not going to leave, or you're not going to get the next step to do, right? So again, motivational speakers, they're good at what they're doing, but it is not giving you clarity, right? So now let's break it down. You might have heard the secret book, about the secret book, right? Secret book, if you have read, I'll tell you, there is a
Yes.
phenomenon. Yes, it talks about, visualizing things which you want, and you assume that it has already been occurring in your life in the present moment, right? This is what it talks about, right? So it increases your dopamine hit. I'm going to talk about the nervous system and all those things. But actually, what happens is it's actually a zero progress. What happens is you visualize that things have happened which you want to do in your life. Let's say you want to buy a big bungalow, right? And you assume that the things has already happened. I'm not against that philosophy, but what is the actual progress? You are there only where you were. It is just in your imagination. So that is a concept where people have, globally accepted that concept, but the fact is it's actually a zero progress, right? So I'm not going to run the the words now. As I said, the motivational speaker trap, there's charismatic stage prowls, I would say. They are masters, right? And you'll be feeling invincible when you hear them for maybe that moment or for 24 hours. But the reality is what? When they go off the couch, it's gone, right? Okay, Seketji, you have a question? Go ahead.
Sir, I have a question on that actually. This is a
Mhm.
very and a curiosity kind of thing you can say
Sure, sure.
regarding this visualization and the law of attraction kind of thing
Mm-hmm,
actually.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't know, many people will maybe will disagree with me, but is in reality law of attraction works for the 100% of the people? It is proved or somewhere something? It's a very good debate over there.
Yeah.
But to
So,
me, what the things is that law of attraction or the visualization, it only works when you have this clarity, when you have the focus, when you have this consistency, all things put together, then only it all works. Only the
exactly.
visualization, only the law of attraction that doesn't work is in my belief. Sometimes it's gives you opposite results also because of the system and because of the processes whatever you followed. If I do something wrong, then obviously it will evokes a wrong result in a wrong way.
True, true, true.
So motivational things, whatever the things, this is a kind of the temporary adrenaline rush,
Mm-hmm.
and is give us kind of whatever your things and high volt of doses of dopamine. And that's the mind.
True, true,
Actually,
true.
is my
So you
belief.
are right. You are right. Your curiosity is right. And I'm not an expert in law of attraction. I'm
Is
not an
my
expert
my
in.
personal experiences such that's why
Yeah.
I'm saying.
No,
I'm
that's
not
okay.
debating to anybody. If anybody, obviously the majority of people actually believes on that, and obviously I do agree on that.
That's
It's
okay. So the point is, you rightly said, you answered your question inside the same thing, that people are not clear even how to visualize or how this law of attraction works. There is a process to do it. Again, you need clarity to actually visualize and get it done through those principles. I'm not saying those principles are wrong, but again, because of lack of clarity, people don't get the results and they doubt. Right? Yes, Polumi wants to say something on this.
I'll just take a few seconds. So,
Yeah.
law of attraction, since I'm a life coach, I come across a lot of people. They believe, like, even when they're practicing law of attraction or something, they really don't have the clarity. So, if you are supposed to ask the universe something, or you are looking for something, so that also need to be measurable, that also need to be achievable. But
Mhm.
most of the time, people, they have a very like highly ambitious things which, and they're not working for it. So how the universe is going to conspire? So sometimes it happens that they become very disappointed because of lack of clarity. Because suppose someone is asking a 1 crore rupees overnight, it's not
Mhm.
possible, right? It takes time, it takes a process, you have to work for it. So it becomes very difficult for us like coaches to make them understand that clarity is even important from the beginning, like what you are asking for. Because most of the time they get hooked to the advertisements they saw, like they're seeing on Instagram or any other social media where people are claiming.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy. And mostly it happens with the money.
Correct.
They come with a big, huge aspiration. But when you ask them that what are the actions you are taking to fulfill those aspirations or to reach there, so you will not find a very clear answer. So law of attraction will, as you just said, law of attraction will only work if you have the clarity. Because most of the cases we have seen, it's not working, and people start saying this, that it's not working or something, because it's not practically they're not taking this thing seriously. Like they ask for something which is not achievable in an easy way.
Yeah, true. So your answer is done, Sekaji. Is it okay? Let us move forward. Yeah, okay. So now another thing, finding your passion. Normally, there are people or coaches who are talking about that find your passion. It's a fallacy, I call it, because you cannot find your passion, right? Passion isn't something which you can find. It's something you develop, correct? So again, if I say that I'm passionate about something, that needs to be developed inside me. Just by thinking, I would not be passionate, right? It should come from within, number one. Okay, so there is nothing called finding your passion. This is again a fallacy. So I told you these are the shocking things which you might have heard a lot of times from multiple people, but here I'm literally contradicting everything because I want to make you clear that clarity will only come when we'll be busting these myths, correct? Now here's the kicker. Chasing motivation is like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands, right? So the harder you grasp, the more it slips through your fingers. So motivation is like that only. Now we'll be moving towards clarity. Now, again, motivation in the way most people think about it is a fair weather friend. It shows up when the task is easy or fun and disappears when the things get tough. So motivation is simple, and this is very explanatory. This is my language which I have mentioned here. It's very simple. When things are going in the right direction, right, you are getting what you are looking for, you feel like highly motivated. But the moment you feel like something is not happening, your motivation level literally disappears, right? So that is where clarity comes into play. Okay, so here it gets interesting. What if I told you that the most successful people in the world don't rely on motivation at all? Have you ever heard about people who are successful in their lives talking about motivation? Anybody? Any big successful influencer or business owner? Have you talked about? I have not seen any successful person talking about motivation, because they have a different secret weapon, right? And that secret weapon is clarity. And I'll give you example. I'll give you simple example. Have you listened or heard from maybe Bill Gates or Elon Musk talking about motivation? They are doing lots of transactional things with clarity. Even if SpaceX was launched by Elon Musk, he was highly, highly clear that this is what I want to do. It failed twice, but still he was very clear. He spent a lot of money, he made it, and he became successful. So again, it's clarity. I'll give you multiple examples. So if you knew with absolute certainty that taking a specific action right now would guarantee you your biggest goal, would you need to be feel motivated to do it? Think for a second. Think for a second now. I'm asking you to think for a second that if you know exactly what you need to take action right now, which will guarantee you your biggest goal, would you need to feel motivated about it? Okay, think for a second. I'll come back to this question again. Okay. Because now we are going to flip the script. Correct? So get ready to meet the clarity, the unsung hero of success that has been hidden in plain sight all throughout your life till now. Let's talk about clarity, the unsung hero of achievements. This is what the topic is, and I'm going to go deep into it because I'll be covering some part of the neuroscience as well. Correct? Let's get into that. So now I'll ask you again. I asked you a question earlier about knowing with certainty that a specific action would guarantee your biggest goal, right? I asked you just now that if you know that this particular action is going to give you results, would you feel motivated to do it? Yes or no? Anybody? If I tell you that this is one particular action which you need to take to get your goals, would you need to get motivated to do it, or you don't need motivation to do it? Anybody?
I have a clarity why I do and motivation. I know
Exactly.
what to do.
Exactly. That's right. Don't need any motivation because you know what to do. Exactly. That's the right answer. Okay.
Simply, if I want to reduce my weight,
Yeah.
I know the way out. It's my duty to wake up every morning and do the exercises. If I'm not doing, I'm not taking any action. If not, a clarity in my mind how to do it, and I can take a guidance, but I can. If there is no motivation required, nobody can push me and go for a walk and do the exercise. Then only you can, or have a that healthy food and all, so that only then you can reduce your weight. There is no motivation required. It's the self motivation, self thing. Actual clarity in my mind. If I want to do, yes, I
Yeah.
need to do.
Exactly. So that's the secret sauce that separates the achievers from the dreamers. You have clarity, right? So you don't need any motivation. So when I say clarity, I don't mean some vague notions of knowing what you want. I'm talking about something far, far more potent and precise. So what is this precise? So clarity is ruthless prioritization on steroids. It is a laser focused understanding of what exactly you want, why you want it, what you are willing to sacrifice to get it, and the specific actions required to make it happen. If I give you these four things, would you be able to do anything in your life? Would you achieve anything in your life? If you're laser focused, and again, I'm telling it's a ruthless prioritization on steroids. Ruthless. Clarity is ruthless. Mind it. I'm going to explain it in detail. Is it clear with you? What exactly you want, why you want it, what are you willing to sacrifice to get whatever you want, and the specific actions required to make it happen. Clear? Okay.
Alokji,
Yes.
even if in this case, we are
Yeah.
not clear about the process that needs to be followed, which most of the coaches are lost in. We might not get clarity and we might get lost in that case.
Exactly. I'm going to cover that point as well, how you are going to get clarity. Don't worry. I'll be covering everything here to give you exact clarity what you want. And you'll be doing right here on the spot. Just have patience. Correct? Don't worry. I know all these challenges, and that is why I brought this topic now. I know if I'm talking about clarity, I need to give you solutions. I don't want to only talk about the problems. I'll give you a way to find your clarity. Right? So don't worry. Be here just. So when you have that level of clarity, motivation becomes as irrelevant as a flashlight in the middle of the day. You don't need motivation. You just only need the level of clarity which will take you there. Why? Because clarity acts as a natural filter to your life. It automatically shifts through the noise, distractions, and shiny object that constantly vie for your attention. So you don't need to have additional source of motivation. It only you what you need is clarity, right? So when you're crystal clear in priorities, again, I'm now talking about priorities. Saying no becomes reflexive. So you don't need willpower to resist temptations. Let's say if I tell you, I give you an example. If you're spending a lot of time on watching reels on Instagram, right? Correct, and it is not going to lead to any of your goals, will you be highly motivated to keep on watching those Instagram reels if it is not going to give you anything? So you have to be very, very seriously reflexive enough to say no to all those distractions. You have to be focusing on priorities. That is what clarity brings you, right? So you don't need willpower to resist temptation, right? People are like saying we need more willpower to achieve something. It's not about the willpower, it's about the clarity which you need to do. Correct? Now, think of this way. Have you ever been so engrossed in a task that you forget to eat? Have you ever have you come across this situation where you are working and you forgot to eat
Yes,
even?
yes,
Yes. So what
yes.
is that? What is that? Do you need to feel motivated to do that? Skip your lunch? No. That's
No,
clarity in action actually. That's clarity in action because you're so clear in your action that you are forgetting to eat, right? So you don't need motivation to keep working. The clarity of your focus has made these things automatically done. You forgot to eat because you are literally focusing on the action which is through clarity. So that's what I have called it, clarity in action. Can you relate to it? Yeah.
I can forget who is sitting behind me or nearby me.
Yeah, obviously we forget it because we are totally focused on our actions. Okay. Now let's address the elephant in the room. If clarity is so powerful, why isn't everyone, walking around with laser focused determination? We talked about clarity. Everybody agreed that clarity is so powerful. Without clarity, we cannot move. Then why isn't everyone around us laser focused and determined to do all this? Any answer? Any answer to this? Anyone? If it is so powerful, we know about it, still we are not doing it. Why?
Maybe because we are unsure about the process, what needs to be followed, and what steps needs to be followed one after the other.
Okay, yeah, good answer. Yeah.
Want has not
Distractions.
become the need.
Wants have not become the need. Yes, it's
I
Sometimes
okay.
think
we don't know or
sometimes,
we don't know what we don't know.
sometimes I think sometimes people do some things by just watching others. Okay, we don't try to identify our passion. Basically, what are our core values? What are the core strengths?
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't match our passion with our core strengths, then we will never have clarity. This is, I think.
Okay. So good answers. Let me now address this one. So clarity is uncomfortable. You'll be laughing at me, right? Clarity is uncomfortable, right?
And we don't want to be uncomfortable.
And we don't want to be uncomfortable. That is why we are not taking action. As simple as that. So what's happening here? Clarity, requires making decisions, hard decisions, right? It means closing doors, burning bridges, and eliminating options. Now I am going to talk about one other thing, which is again going to blow your mind. In a world that celebrates keeping your options open, we always say we have option A, we have option B, we have option C, which is almost rebellious. I don't believe in option B. I don't keep option B. Now you'll be feeling like, what is this person saying? We should be having some options. If plan A doesn't work, what will we do? People are talking about plan A, plan B, plan C. I don't believe in this, right? Because it is again an enemy to your clarity. Correct? I'm going to talk about it as well. So the discomfort is precisely what makes clarity powerful. Now, why clarity is powerful? Because it is discomfortable. It is uncomfortable. It gives you discomfort. Why discomfort? Because it takes hard decisions to be clear in our minds, right? And people don't want to be uncomfortable, right? So let's talk about a new concept called thinking time. Have you heard about it earlier? Thinking time. Anyone? I know these things would be new to most of the people. Yes. Second, you're saying something?
So thinking time, is it means that as a separate time being for personal to get the clarity or anything for the personal thing, something like that.
Obviously, it is related to that only because we need to think. We need to be clear in our mind. That will only happen when we start thinking. Correct?
Yes.
So let's talk about it. So it's a dedicated time for asking yourself harder questions, uncomfortable questions about you, your business, like what I'm not seeing, what I'm not doing, what if my core assumption is wrong, what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? These are few questions which will literally trigger yourself, right? And these are hard questions. Nobody wants to listen. And I had done a simple training where I talked about 5 whys. You ask why you are doing it, right? Ask 5 whys on any of the topic, you will get the answer. So here also what I'm trying to tell you is this thinking time is about asking question yourself and harder questions. You don't need to justify your working. You don't need to be soft to yourself. If you want to succeed in your life, you have to be asking harder questions, uncomfortable questions, like what I showed you. Now, these questions are actually clarity generators. They force you to confront reality and make decisions based on that reality, not on wishful thinking. So what happens is we wish and we think wishfully. Whereas this clarity generated questions, they make you uncomfortable. They confront the reality, right? So it's hard. Can you relate to it? I'll give you multiple examples for that. No issues. So you might be thinking now, this all sounds great, but how do I actually gain this type of clarity? This is what Anshulji was asking. You don't know how to gain this kind of a clarity, right, Anshul? I'm going to talk about that. How and what are you going to do to gain this kind of a clarity? So, but before we dive into this, we need to address a major roadblock that's probably standing in your way right now, which we call analysis paralysis. You might have heard this before, right? So, what is that? Analysis of paralysis, paralysis of analysis. Actually, we analyze a lot of things now. So, let's get ready to confront the hidden enemy of clarity and let's learn how to overcome it. The paradox of choice and its impacts on clarity. I just now talked about having options, option A, option B, and option C. What are these? These are choices which we create for ourselves, right? But these options have a negative impact on clarity. How? So imagine walking into a store to buy a pair of jeans. It's very simple. We do go to the shops and we buy jeans. But as and when you try to make choices, like you want to have a slim fit jeans, a straight leg, right? High rise, low rise, dark wash, light wash, denim, non-denim, and there are so many specifications, right? Suddenly you pick and choose one. Correct? It's like, choosing a bomb, like, right? So what happens is, this is a clarity. I'm telling you, you had lots of options, but when you are going to choose, you don't see all those things together. Am I right? You don't see all these parameters together, but you choose one. Correct? So choosing one or picking one particular pant feel like diffusing a bomb. You have, literally thrashed all these parameters and have chosen one. You made a decision, right? You made a decision. Correct? So this decision is what? As described by a psychologist named Barry Schwartz, it states that while some choice is good, too much choices paralyze us, which makes us less satisfied with our decision. Is it making some relatability to you? Too much choices makes you literally paralyzed. Correct? Now you might be thinking, what does this have to do with clarity and motivation? Now I'm talking about choices. I've talked about motivation. I'm talking about clarity. How are these things related? These all things are interrelated. I'm going to talk about it.
Very much related. Very much
Yeah,
related.
it's
If I
very much related.
if I talk about me,
Yeah.
if I want to buy a sari, I knew which color, which shop, which location.
Yeah.
So if I'm very much clear, it's okay. Else, what people do now, they just go and do the window shopping first, and then it means they don't have the clarity. So I have very much of a clarity.
True.
So if I want to buy anything, so very much required.
Good. So in this today's world, we are not choosing between a type of genes. We're choosing between infinite career paths. We have lots of career options, right? We have countless lifestyle options, right? We have endless self-improvement strategies. We have myriad investment opportunities. We have numerous relationship models. And this is just like scratching the surface. There are lots of options everywhere, right? So when we have lots of options, what are we doing? We are literally diffusing the clarity part. Correct? So each of the choices you don't make, each decision you postponed creates what I call is clarity depth. I know there are IT guys here. You must be, listening a term called technical depth in software development. Have you heard about it? Right? Technical depth. Similarly, this clarity depth accumulates over time, making it increasingly difficult to move forward with confidence. So the more you delay in your decisions, because of you having lots of choices, you delay in decisions because you're not sure which decision to go with, which is the best thing to go. You don't have clarity. So you are actually accumulating clarity depth. And that clarity depth again, literally thrashes you from moving forward because you have lots of options in your mind, you're not clear. So it's very difficult to move forward with confidence because let's say, I give you an example. You have option A. You say that I'm going to do something with this option A, and you are putting your full efforts. Now your mind will say, yeah, you have option B as well. You have option C as well. So your mind will start creating confusion in itself, saying, yeah, maybe I could have chosen option B and that would have been better because you have choices, right? So this clarity depth literally thrashes you in terms of moving forward with confidence. Yes, Meenaji, you have a question. Tell me.
I can give you the clarity that example of my daughter even
Yeah.
into the career path. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
She started with after 12, she's started with CA.
Okay.
She reached to enter second IPCC2, and the final was not done. And she was not getting anywhere, some articleship and all. Then she moved to CS, right?
Okay.
And because of CS, she did correspondence graduation in BCom.
Okay.
And now, after that, she started thinking of a CS. Now, she did the CS also after that.
Okay.
Now, after that, she said, Ki, Nana, that is also not a good option for me. Let me try to the LLB. Now, she went for the LLB and cleared, and that too on a regular LLB from the DU. And she cleared with the first division, and she was searching the job. And after that, she was not getting something good. She somehow able to enter into some of the jobs.
Okay.
Now, the age is going on, and the first job, she is not getting that much of a salary, whereas my another daughter was getting more salary. And they are the twins. So there is something in her mind also.
Correct.
Now, after her marriage, she felt like, it's something is left. I want to go to the MBA finance. I will get the more opportunities. After 5-7 years of experience, she is not getting the raises of the salary which my another daughter got.
Yeah.
Because they are twins, so they have there is no races in between, but she realized and underconfident in the current job even, and she was crying one day and said, I don't want to work anymore. I want to start something my own. I immediately said, go and resign. You do whatever you want to do. Start something on your own. Now she's happy from the last 2 months, and because she is doing good now. So this is the clarity debt. She started from somewhere, and she has not able to landed somewhere. I tried to guide her, but she was not listening to me. She is in her thought only. So when this happened, the challenges will changes actually.
Sure. Very nicely explained. That is called clarity depth. So the clarity depth always keeps you, makes your life difficult, because nothing, whatever you are doing, you're not doing with confidence, right? So every time you will be having a challenge. Okay, let's move forward now. So let me give you this example. Again, this was a different example. Minaji gave that example of her daughter. So I'm not going to run this example. I was talking about a hypothetical character called Ria. And the same thing, what Minaji talked about. Ria also wanted to, focus on brand identity, specialize in packaging design, because she was a graphic designer. So I gave this example. But now this example is very much relevant what, Minaj gave. So Ria or Minaji's daughter, they are not lacking motivation, right? They are drowning in options actually, right? They are drowning in options because they have multiple options to do, and they are suffocating under the weight of their own clarity depth, right? This is what we discussed right now. That since you have multiple options, you are drowning in your own options and you are suffocating under the weight of the clarity depth. Don't do that. So here is the truth bomb. Every time you say that I'll keep my options open, you are not being smart or strategies. You are accumulating clarity depth. Was it an aha moment for you guys? Let me ask you this.
Yes, correct.
Right? The more you keep your options open, the more you are accumulating your clarity depth. Correct? So now there would be people who will say, no, we should be having options. Actually, if you have options, you are literally diffusing the clarity part. That should not be the case, right? So if it is an aha moment, please mention aha in the chat. Let me see the chat ruling, because I'm seeing very less people are communicating. Yes, thank you, Sakachi. Thank you, yeah. Good. So be smart. I'll say be smart, and don't keep many options. You should be having one focused approach. I'm gonna talk about it. Don't accumulate clarity, depth actually. So the depths will come with crippling interest in the form of decision fatigue, imposter syndrome, lack of specialization, diluted efforts, and unclear messaging to potential clients or employers. Right now, if you have multiple options, what will happen? You will be keeping on thinking like which way to go. That is a decision fatigue. Imposter syndrome. You will see, okay, we'll think about it, we'll do later on. You are literally procrastinating. Again, lack of specialization. Since you have multiple options, you're not sure which specialization is going to help you do better. And obviously, when you have multiple options, your efforts are going to dilute. If you're focused on one approach, you'll be giving 100%. If you divert it into 2 parts, it will be like 50-50. Or if it is diverted into 3 parts, it will be 33%. So again, and if you are diluting your efforts, you are again not talking to your right potential customers in whatever way. You have to talk one thing, right? So all these things are, I would say, a result of your clarity depth, which will keep on crippling inside you. So the irony is, by trying to avoid missing out, you end up missing up on the compounding benefits of focus, effort, and expertise. We try to avoid missing out. Means, let's say somebody is an yoga expert. A yoga is good for anybody, since child to the older age people. But if you are trying to help everyone, and you are trying to avoid missing out on one set of audience, actually you are missing out on the compounding benefits of focus approach, focus effort. If you say that I'm going to help only people who are above 60 to help them reduce their glucose level or the sugar level through yoga, that becomes the powerful statement, and you are focused on only that set of audience. You are only talking to them. That is how you are going to implement it. That I'll be talking tomorrow. But I give you this irony that by trying to avoid missing out, actually we are ending up missing out on the compounding benefits on focus effort. Is it okay? Can you relate to it? Okay, good. So how do we break free from this cycle? And how do we pay down our clarity depth and start making real progress? Now, this is the question. So it starts with understanding that clarity isn't just about knowing what you want. It's about having the courage to eliminate options. I'm talking about options. Eliminate options. You need to have the courage to eliminate options, right? So get ready to understand the biology of breakthrough decisions and learn how to leverage it for massive clarity and unstoppable momentum. I'm going to talk about this now. So the neuroscience of clarity. How many of you know about neuroscience of clarity? I'm not sure, because this is not a topic of the coaches, but I have brought it here. So let's talk about. So we are about to dive into the fascinating world of your brain on clarity. How does brain work? Okay, now let me ask you, have you ever wondered why making a clear decision feels so damn good? Let's say you are going to plan a holiday trip. When you take a decision that, okay, I'm going to Shimla, I'm going to, Uti, or you are going to Singapore or Thailand or Phuket or anywhere else. When you make a decision, do you feel good when you made a decision?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
There is a happiness inside. I'm just going to enjoy my holidays after a few days.
Yes,
When I
because this is,
started planning, even.
yeah, that's okay. But here, how your brain is working, that's the emotional part of it. I'm talking about the brain part now. So when you take a decision, you are literally removing the anxiety part because of not making a decision. So you feel good. Try to understand in that way. Correct? So it all comes down the intricate dance of neurotransmitters in your brain. Neurotransmitters, okay, it might be a new term. What are neurotransmitters? Neurotransmitters are smaller cells inside the brain which conveys your message and allow you to take a decision. Right? Minaji, you were saying something. Sorry, I interrupted. Minaji, you were saying something? Okay. Chalo. So we'll talk about this. Let's break it down. The dopamine dilemma. You might have heard about it, right? The dopamine is what? It's a feel good chemical which is released inside our body, right? So the dopamine's real job is much more nuanced, right? It's not about pleasure, it's about anticipation and motivation, correct? So the feel good factor after taking any decision is the dopamine dilemma, which gives us, a feel. But it's not about pleasure actually. It's about anticipation. So here's where it gets interesting. Now let's talk about it. So what happens is, just a second. Okay, here I go. So unclear goals or vague aspirations create a constant low level dopamine drips, right? And we feel like we are doing something. Have you ever felt like, we are doing something? We feel good about just telling ourselves that we are doing something, but it never leads to satisfaction. We are dreaming big. At least we are doing something. I think, Ashita was saying something related to this. You're not clear, but you feel good that you are doing something, right? You are not clear about your goals, but you have vague aspirations, but you feel a low level of dopamine drip by saying that, okay, I'm doing something, I'm progressing somewhat. Is it relatable, Ashita? I think you were talking about this, right? Anyway, So this is what the low level dopamine dip creates. Now, when you have clear and achievable goals, on the other hand, that creates a dopamine jackpot when you actually accomplish them. Now, there are two things. Compare these two things. One, when you satisfy yourself by saying, okay, I'm doing something. So you have a low level of dopamine, which is a chemical released inside our body or a brain to let us feel good. Now, when you have a clear achievable goal, on the other hand, it becomes a jackpot of dopamine when you actually accomplish them. Right? Can you make it out? So in other words, clarity turns you from a dopamine addict, always chasing the next hit, into a dopamine investor, reaping massive returns. So you don't have to be a dopamine addict, that every time you need some feel good thing, you need to become a dopamine investor, which gives you massive results in future, right? Now let's talk about the amygdala. Have anybody heard about this word, amygdala? Amygdala is the brain center portion which work is to keep you safe. So it is also called the brain's fear center. Right? Now let's talk about it. I hope you are enjoying it. Is it okay?
Yes.
This is entirely different. I am not talking about any strategies. So I hope you people are enjoying it. Right? Okay. And we are almost 1 hour. So we are in time. Don't worry. I'll be concluding this in the right time. So your brain has a center position where the function is to make you free from the fear, right? Now what happens is this center portion which I told you, it floods your system with another hormone which is called cortisol. This is a stress hormone, right? I'm talking about hormones which are working inside your brain to create a sense of discomfort or comfort, right? So when you start getting clear on your goal, you are essentially telling your brain that we are changing our course. Your amygdala, which job is to keep you safe, freaks out. उसको लगता है कि अरे अभी क्या होने वाला है? I'm not sure what this person is gonna do. So it floods your system with cortisol, which is a stress hormone, right? It releases stress hormones, right, triggering that all too familiar feeling of anxiety. You are highly anxiety. You are stressed, and anxiety comes into play. So you are highly discomfortable, right? Because you are trying to tell your brain that we are going to change our course, and the function of that center portion of the brain is to keep you safe. Now there is a contradiction. The brain thinks, oh, I need to change something. I need to do something else. This person is going to take me into an uncomfortable situation. So because of that, your brain releases this kind of a hormone which is called cortisol, right? This is why so many people avoid clarity. Now you remember I asked you a question earlier that this clarity is so powerful. If it is so powerful, then why people are not doing it? Because we feel uncomfortable, and because of this uncomfortable feeling which is happening inside our mind, because of our brain functioning that way, which is not allowing us to come out of that comfort, releasing that stress hormones, we are avoiding clarity, right? So the initial discomfort, so when we are moving towards clarity, there is an initial discomfort. It's a warning sign, right? It's a warning sign, and it is retreating to the safety to vagueness and keeping options open. Again, your mind will say, yeah, why we are going that way? Let's keep our options open now. Why to take this kind of a discomfort? So again, we lose clarity, and we are again back to the clarity depth. This is why people are not taking actions. People are not taking clarity in their minds, right? So again, the plot twist, the discomfort is actually a sign you are on the right track. So I'll tell you what is happening here. You can visualize this and you can relate to it. You are doing certain things. You are very much comfortable doing one thing, which you have already adopted. You have conceived in your mind that this is what the best thing I could do, and you are doing it. Now, when you are going towards clarity, you are changing the track. When you are changing the track, you are giving a signal to your brain that there is something change. So the brain says that, okay, you are going to get into a discomfort zone. Don't go. So the brain starts stopping you from going there if you are not that committed, right? But actually, this discomfort is a sign of that you are going on a right track. Is it okay? Okay, now let's talk about the neuroplasticity, your brain on clarity. So what do you know by neuroplasticity? So I'll explain it, because this is not a subject to be discussed with coaches. Let me tell you what I have learned and what I have made here. So every time you push through that initial discomfort and make a clear decision, you are literally rewiring your brain. I talked about neurotransmitters. What are these transmitters doing? They are literally rewiring your brain. This process is known as neuroplasticity, where your brain adapts the new circumstances. Right? Is it okay? I'm not listening anything from anybody. Everybody is like,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
okay.
you are saying कि if every time when you push something, you take any decision which makes you discomfort
Yes.
situation, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
that time, this is basically a process of a neuroplasticity.
Correct.
So
Correct.
if I'm just to my understanding, I'm just connecting with my clarity with
Yes.
कि if I'm a person who is not a early morning person. If I
Okay.
started doing it on a regular basis,
Mm-hmm.
so it means I am taking a decision which is uncomfortable.
Yes. Very true.
Correct. So
Yeah.
if I am able to do on a regular basis, it means I have tried. This process has started and the neuroplasticity has started in my brain. This is the
Exactly.
rewiring I am doing in my brain.
Exactly. You are
Right.
literally rewiring. Yeah.
This is what you were saying because
Yes.
I how I am connecting with 3 years back I was waking at 6 o'clock. Now I am waking at the 4:45 or a 5 o'clock. So I changed my morning routine for a 1 hour so that I can use that 1 hour for myself, for
Sure.
my inner peace and all. So I just connecting from that. That is basically is the neuroplasticity.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's about adopting a new habit, and inside the brain, it's called rewiring the brain. Right?
Okay, done. ठीक.
Okay. So
Alok ji,
yes. Yes. Anshul ji,
yeah,
boliye.
I have a question regarding the previous slide that you just showed, maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
one or two prior to
Which
that.
one? This one?
Uh, Cortisol levels, regarding cortisol levels.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, when sometimes I take actions
Mm-hmm.
and don't get results, that is the
Mm-hmm.
first time my cortisol levels increases.
Mm-hmm.
And second time, I am part of some daily meetings when people discuss why to do offline or online, then also my cortisol level increases.
Okay.
So how to reduce that?
Chalo, I'll give you certain ways. We are going to do certain activities which will make you comfortable and give you clarity. So again, I'm saying I'm not a neuroscientist, or I'm not a brain specialist. This is what I have read, right? And I'm going to give you certain ways to come to clarity, right? Make sense? Okay. So yeah, we have talked about this. Okay, so the first few times you choose clarity over vagueness, it feels hard. Your brain is creating new neural pathways, but each time you do, those pathways get stronger. So eventually, clarity becomes your brain's default mode. So you are changing from one step to another. You are rewiring your brain. Now the next rewired brain becomes your default mode, which is a path of clarity, right? This is what we are going to do. So it's like building a muscles. The first few reps, bit tough, but with consistent training, you become a clarity generating machine. This is what is neuroplasticity all about. Now we are going to talk about the reticular activating system, RAS, which I also called your brain's bouncer. What is it? So let me explain this. Uh, Clarity becomes a superpower. How? When your reticular activating system, so again, this is a part of our brain, which is a bundle of nerves, right? That filters your information, deciding what gets into your conscious mind and what doesn't. Now, you must be knowing about the two levels, two minds, subconscious mind and conscious minds. So RAS, which is the reticular activating system, this is a bouncer, a brain bouncer, which is named as. This is a bundle of nerves which filters your information. Right now, if you are clear about what you are going to do, the filtering process is better and faster, right? And it separates the conscious mind and subconscious mind, correct? So how it helps in clarity? The better it is bundled, the nerves are bundled, right? The filtering process becomes smoother when your goal and your actions are aligned. Otherwise, this reticular activating system, this gets confused, right? So what happens is, when you have crystal clear goals, you are essentially programming your RAS actually, right? Suddenly you start noticing opportunities because you have now reprogram your brain to achieve something because you are clear on your goals. So what happens? You start noticing opportunities, ideas and resources which aligns with your goals. Correct? So this veins and brain filtering system was already there, but previously what was happening? It was not matching and the objective was not clear. So when the objective was not clear, the goal was not clear, the focus was not clear, your RAS system was not working properly. Now, since you have given an actual goal with a clear path, your RAS starts giving you opportunities. You start seeing opportunities actually. You start getting new and new ideas, right? That is how this RAS works, right? So this is why people often talk about opportunities appearing once they got clear on their goals. These opportunities didn't magically materialize. Actually, the brain has just started letting the information through. Previously, the brain was not allowing the information to go through. Now, since you have aligned all those things in a line, maybe, so your brain is literally processing that information and you are more clear, and the clarity is giving you, actually showing you multiple opportunities for your growth. So now let's recap on the clarity compounding effect, which we just talked about. So clear goals optimize your dopamine system for long-term satisfaction. The initial discomfort of gaining clarity is just your amygdala doing its job, pushing through it. Each clear decision strengthens your clarity muscles through neuroplasticity, and clarity reprograms your RAS to filter in opportunities aligned with your goals. The result? Your brain is now literally rewired for success. This is what the function of brain is. Now, I know you are thinking this is all theoretical part, is right? I know this sounds very great, but how do I actually start gaining this type of clarity? Is this question coming to your mind? theory बहुत हो गया अभी तो, ये भी सीख लिया, ये भी सीख लिया, ये भी सीख लिया, करेंगे क्या भाई ये तो बताओ, right? So let's talk about it. So let's talk about some unconventional methods to gain clarity. I don't know what are the conventional methods. If it comes to me, I'm very focused on what I'm doing. So I have one path, I have one option, I have one way to go, I have one goal to achieve. Simple. So my method is very simple, but here are some unconventional methods to gain clarity, right? So let's talk about it and let's do our hands dirty. How are you going to do it? But again, I'm just giving you a fair warning that this is not something which I'm going to do with you. I'm not going to give you a goal setting program. I'm not going to tell you to write smart goals. Everybody talks about it. I'm not going to tell you to buy a board and write your visions, right? We are going to push some boundaries, make you a little uncomfortable. Are you ready to this? Are you ready to make yourself uncomfortable? Yes, yes, yes. Some yeses in the chats, please. Some yeses in the chats, please. Yeah, good. Thank you so much. Okay, so the first is I'm going to do some certain activities here. And these are the frameworks which I'm going to talk about. The regret minimization framework. So this one comes straight from the playbook of Jeff Bezos. Before he started Amazon, Jeff Bezos used his framework to gain clarity. So he was a Wall Street guy. You might be knowing if you have read about him. He was a Wall Street guy. He left everything and then he started to sell books on Amazon, right? Now, how it works? I'm going to tell you to do this. Take out your pen and paper, please. Take out pen and paper and let's do this activity right here. Assume that you are at the age of 80 now. I know nobody is here at the age of 80, but assume that you are at the age of 80, right? Look back in your life and see which decision will you regret the least. Write one decision, ask yourself and write it in one liner. You just need to write one line. Or maybe you can put it in the chat, right? This is how it works. Can you ask yourself, which decision will I regret the least when you are at the age of 80? जब 80 साल के हो जाओगे और लोग कहते हैं ना, when you are at the deathbed, now what decision you will think that you did not regret? One thing. Which decision will I regret the least? This method is called the regret minimization framework. Think yourself being at the age of 80, where maybe you are not able to move, or you're not healthy, or you are not able to do anything which you want on yourself, but your mind is working well and you are thinking of something. So ask yourself, which decision will you regret the least? I see some answers. Taking where is at the age of 50? Okay. Everybody has written it. Keep it yourself. I'm not going to ask you. I'm just going to give you certain examples and I'm going to give you this clarity that how it works. Right. Now let's go to the, okay, let's complete this. So it's simple but powerful. By fast forwarding to the end of your life, you strip away the short-term fears and see what really matters. जब आप 80 साल के हो जाते हो ना, उस समय आपको फिर किसी चीज का डर नहीं रहता. घर कैसे चलेगा, परिवार कैसे चलेगा, लोग क्या कहेंगे, बच्चे क्या सोचेंगे, कुछ नहीं रहता. So you are away from your fears, any fear which you have, right? So apply this regret minimization framework, see what clarity emerges, right? This is method number 1. So this is called regret minimization framework. Let's talk about second one, the 100 no's exercise. This is not numbers, 100 no's. So you have to start not being a people pleaser. You have to say no to 100 people, 100 things this month. Because clarity isn't about saying yes, it's about saying no to it. You have to say 100 no's this month. So can you create a notepad or a guide and start writing from today onwards? Let's say today is 23rd of October, 30 days, right? 1 month. You start writing how many no's you have said to people. The more you say no, the more you are focused on the yeses. Mind it. You are literally avoiding all those yeses which might take your time, energy, and other things. So you start saying no to 100 things this month. That is 100 no's exercise. Anshulji, are you getting it? I'm now talking about the ways to get clarity.
Yeah, so by this you mean to say that we have to prioritize the things in our life or business which are important to us and say no to least priority tasks or
Exactly.
people.
Exactly. Yes, it makes sense. That is what the purpose is. Don't say yeses to each and everything. You have to learn to say no. No to all those people which is not adding to your goals, as simple, or life or value anyway. Now, keep a log of
Sir,
it.
sorry to interrupt. Sir, here no means can we consider the things which is not important or very least, less important in our life or the something or maybe our career? Can we consider?
Exactly. That is the thing.
Okay.
That
Okay.
is the thing.
Okay. Thank you.
So each time you say a no to a request of somebody, an invitation or something, or even a thought that doesn't align with your priorities, write it down. Aim for 100. That is, I'm saying, you have to settle down your priorities first. Again, if you have already settled down your priorities, you are having clarity on what you are going to do. So you will start saying no to all those 100 people, 100 things which might come to your way, might come your way, right? Aim for 100 this month and see the difference. So at first, it'll feel uncomfortable. You might even feel guilty because maybe, let's say, your child is saying something, your wife is saying something, your friend is saying something. Your friend will say, let's come have a party on a weekend. You'll say no to it, right? But as and when you progress, yeah, that's a fact. I'm telling you, that's a fact. As and when you
Even
progress
when I
in,
say no to my boss, he feels uncomfortable. How come you say no?
yeah, I know,
I said
I
it
know.
is not possible during this timeline. This time frame is not comfortable. So
Correct.
let's discuss on it and then find out the solution. It's
True.
simply no. No means no.
True, correct. So I told you, no, it feel uncomfortable. Everybody, nobody wants to listen no, actually. So it makes people uncomfortable naturally. So you might even feel guilty about it. That is what I'm saying. So don't feel guilty about it. It is for your benefit. But as and when you progress, you'll notice some notable things that your yeses are becoming more and more powerful, right? That is what the purpose is. So your time opens up, your energy focuses, and clarity emerges from the space you have created. So you are creating space for yourself by saying no to unwanted things, which is not leading you to your goals. Right?
And that too with the reason, logic reason if you have. So
Yeah,
people don't feel uncomfortable even.
exactly.
Even if you're saying to your kids or your spouse, maybe, or in an office or any other, I
Yeah,
have feel like if I have a reason behind it and the logic reason behind it, they will listen to you. They
correct.
definitely like to listen to you even,
True.
because this is one experience I have in my with my boss even, and
Mm-hmm.
they listen in with my family even.
True, true, true. Yes. So don't care about making people comfortable or making you uncomfortable. Let it be. If it is comfortable, well and good. If you can handle it nicely without making people uncomfortable, that is good. But even if it is uncomfortable, it's okay. Because your whatever yeses now you're going to say is becoming more powerful. Correct? Now the third way. Clarity through constraints. How? This is again a beautiful one. We often think that more options lead to more outcomes. Right? जितना ऑप्शन रहेगा उतना अच्छा रहेगा, उतना ऑप्शन रहेगा उतना हम अच्छा कर पाएंगे. But the opposite is true actually. Constraints breed creativity and force clarity. Again, contradictory to what you might have thought earlier. Is it? Constraints से कैसे clarity आती है? This is what I'm talking about in this particular process. Right? So what you have to do is mind-blowing things. Take your biggest goal. Right? Now cut your resources in half the time, half the money, half the team, and ask yourself, how would I achieve this goal with this constraint? Let's say, for example, your goal is to, let's say, make 5 lakh rupees or 1 lakh rupees a month. Let's start small, right? Now you have limited time. Everybody has limited time. Everybody has limited resources, maybe team and something. Now, let's say today you are working for 10 hours. Try to see how you're going to do the same thing in 5 hours by cutting half of the time. If you have two people working with you, try to reduce. I'm just giving a situation. Try to reduce that. If you had only one person to work with, how do you improve on your work? How do you get going to your goals? Right? And ask yourself how you are going to achieve these goals with these constraints in hand, although you don't have. But to make you clear, this is one of the ways where clarity is coming through constraints. Anshulji, for you, right? And obviously everyone. Is it clear? Clarity through constraints, right? So this forces you to get crystal clear on what's essential. It eliminates the fluff and zeros, right? Now, paradoxically, if you'll often find that the constrained version is actually more innovative and impactful. And I'll give you here an example of Bill Gates. I read somewhere Bill Gates was saying that I'll choose a lazy person because that lazy person will do work in 2 hours rather than somebody who will be doing it in 4 hours. Right? You might have heard this quote. So what is here? We are not trying to compromise on the quality of the work. We are trying to do it in the lesser resources. So when we have lesser, let's say, and I'll give you another example. Let's say you have 1 lakh of money to spend, right? 1 lakh of money to go on a holiday. So you will try to utilize that money, or you will try to even save some money without compromising on the comfort level. You'll be choosing that kind of a hotel booking, travel, maybe you'll be flying. So again, what you're doing, if you can literally cut that cost, I'm not telling you to cut the cost. I'm talking about creating a hypothetical constraint to reduce on the cost or the resources to get it maximized. Right? Is it okay? Okay. Now, the fourth is the skill stack approach. Now, everybody is talking about being an expert of one thing, right? Everybody talks about, I think most of the coaches talk about here, you have to, choose one niche, you have to do something very great to becoming an expert, right? Most of the people are talking and nothing wrong about it. But here, this clarity will give you something better than that, right? Can you guess what's it? I'll show you. So instead of trying to be the best at one thing, become reasonably good at a unique combination of skills. Was it mind-blowing? You have to become reasonably good at a unique combination of skills, not only one skill. So this is what I call is the skill stack approach. Have you heard it before? Skill stacking. You must be hearing about price stacking and everything. But this is what I'm talking about.
Of the way, this seems something like jack of all trades.
Yeah, you can say jack of all trades, yes. But here, it has to be refined in a way where you give one particular output to somebody with that combination of skills. The ultimate objective is to give something reasonably good to people as a result, as an impact, by having multiple skill sets, and you are combining those skill sets and giving one solution. That is what I mean by skill stack approach. Right? Now, how it works? List out your top 5 to 7 skills. They don't have to be world class, but they just need to be reasonably good. Right? Now, look for unique combinations and see how can you stack the skills in a way that's rare and valuable. Let's say, for example, I know like Anshulji, we are meeting almost daily or weekly, twice and thrice. He's there or not? Anshulji, are you there? Acha, Anshulji is there. Okay. So he is a marathon runner. He has also been a nutritionist, what do you say? Coach, for a health coach. And now he is learning again a skill for PCOS for ladies, women and all. So now I'm telling him to combine all these skill sets and bring out a unique combination of services, which is rare. Right? It's not about just being a health coach. It's not about just being a marathon runner. It's about combining all those skills and create one rare activity which is valuable to the people. Right? Anshulji, is it okay?
Yes, and Alokji, being a coach, we have to juggle between multiple balls. It can be sales, marketing, social media, uploading, doing our L1 courses, one-to-one coaching, and there are multiple hats that one has to wear.
Sure. So we have solutions to this. I'm saying, see, business you cannot do on your own. A single-handed person cannot do everything on their own. While going forward, you'll have to have a team because this is your core expertise. Those things could be outsourced. Your core expertise cannot be outsourced, mind it. So I'm trying to tell you that these unique combinations are your skills, which cannot be outsourced. Other things can be outsourced. So don't worry on that part. That will be a stage where you will be hiring people and doing everything. But here, the point here is how you are going to apply all these aspects of making your concepts clear on what you need to do. Right? That is what the purpose is. So this approach helps you gain clarity on your unique value proposition. We talk about USP creating, right? Everybody talks about create an USP. This is going to be your USP by combining multiple level of skill sets and stacking it so that you are one of those rare people. So it's not about being the best. It's about being the one who does what you do. Only one person who is doing everything. You need to be that unique. So this gives you that kind of a clarity. Now, the fifth one is the dead end visualization, right? So this one is little dark, but stick with me, it's powerful. Visualize continuing on your current path for the next 5 years. Whatever you are doing, you just visualize that you are doing the same thing for the next 5 years. Imagine it leads to complete failure. Write down in vivid detail what that failure looks like and feels like. Correct? And now work backwards. What a decision led to this outcome. So you can do this exercise right here, right away with me. Visualize that you are continuing on your current path for the next 5 years and it did not work out for you. Right? So what that failures will look like and feel to you. And now work backwards saying what decisions led you to this outcome. क्या किया आपने कि 5 साल आपका वही चीज रह गया? Can you make it out? Can you write this in your diary? It won't take much time. You just need to write here what that failures will look like and what decision has led to this failure. So this is called the dead end visualization. This dead end visualization is like there is a dead end and you have been working for 5 years and you saw that nothing worked out for you. And there are people who are into this category as well. right? So now work backwards and see what decision has led you to this outcome. What you did, what you did not do. Again, you took multiple decisions in this 5 years. You could write your decisions which you took. Let's say if you are into this industry for 6 months or 1 year, talk about only that 6 months to 1 year, what you did. And today, let's say you are feeling that this is not working for me. So what has led to this outcome? What have you done? What you have not done? I'm going to talk about it. Sorry. Just write it down. Let me have just a little water. Okay, have you written it? Devakaji, you said no. What was that? I didn't see this. No to what?
Just not heard. Means you are asking
Achha,
about
you have not heard about it. Okay. Okay. Good.
yeah,
No issues.
stacking that one.
Yeah. The skill stacking, nobody talks about it. People are saying that you become an expert, but actually you have to create your USP by stacking your multiple layers of knowledge, which everybody is doing actually, but they are not able to visualize that they are doing. Okay, let's talk about it. So this exercise helps you identify the pitfalls and the wrong turns before you make them. It's like clarity through negative space. By seeing clearly what you don't want, right? What you do want comes into sharp focus. So जो आप नहीं चाहते हो ना, उसको हटाने के लिए आपको लिखना पड़ेगा कि आपने क्या किया कि ऐसा चीज हुआ. So when you start writing that this happened because of this, you will start avoiding all those things. It is relatable? Can you make sense? We talked about writing these things. What decisions led to this outcome? Now you have made some decisions, and that decisions did not lead you to the outcome. So now when you write all these actions, you will be literally avoiding. And now I can relate to this Edison's statement, which said that he knew 1,000 ways not to build, not to develop a electric bulb, right? So same thing is here. Same thing is here. What we are trying to do is we are trying to mention what all things we did, what went wrong, so that we can avoid it in the future course of time. But that future has not come. We are just analyzing it by thinking that this has been done. And if it has been done, let's remove all those activities which has led to this wrong outcome, right? Now, the sixth one, again, very interesting. The Odysseus contract. Have you heard about it? The Odysseus contract? Okay. This is again very simple.
No.
I'm not going to, yeah, no problem. So what this contract does is you have to identify a goal that requires a sustained effort. Create a contract with somebody very known to you. Maybe your husband, wife, friend, brother, sister, anybody, right? And give the contract and to that particular and start, enforcing it. How it is going to work? This is example. Like if you want to write a book, you contract somebody and you say that to write a book, you need to write 1,000 words a day. Correct? And if you don't write 1,000 words a day, you have to give $100 to that friend or husband or wife or anybody in your family or anybody, any else. Right? So start. And if it is out of the family, that makes even better sense because now you are penalizing yourself for not doing something. Correct? So this creates instant clarity that you have to write 1,000 words a day if you want to write a book. If you want to do something, you have to do this back and words. If you don't do it, you need to penalize yourself. Right? So this, process is making your path crystal clear because the alternatives are too painful to consider. The alternatives are painful because nobody wants to give $100 to anybody else for not doing this. But if you're very serious and you have made a contract, you have to give it. So you definitely will work towards it. This is called Odysseus contract. How was it? How is this method? How are these 6 methods I talked about?
Alokji, sorry to interrupt. Can you just go back to the sixth one? I just missed it. I was in the washroom.
Okay. This is called Odysseus contract. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a technique which talks about creating clarity through pre-commitment. So you are doing a pre-commitment to any one of your person, whether known and unknown, that if I don't do this act, I'll be giving you money. And money is loved by everybody. Nobody wants to spend that kind of a money for no reason. Here, there is a reason for you to write something. I gave you an example of writing a book. So if you need to write a book, and you know that to write a book in, let's say, 30 days or 100 days, you need to write 1,000 words a day. If you don't write that 1,000 words a day, you need to pay that penalty. So when that penalty is in your mind, it's very painful to pay that $100, right? So you work. So that gives you clarity, right? And this is a sudden clarity, because कहते हैं ना, when you have money at stake, you are more clear on what you want to do. Yes, Meena ji, tell me.
I did this activity last year for myself. Reprimand envelope.
Okay, very nice.
Whenever I committing, matlab, before sleeping, I just planning my day. If something is I'm not doing for my learning, like I have decided to read a book every day. I read a one page of
Right.
that book. If I'm not reading, I'm just putting 50 rupees to my reprimand envelope. And believe me, it really gives you a pain. Do you feel like, yes, it is why I'm not doing for
Correct.
myself even. So yes, it's a
Exactly.
very good the cause and the money I have given to donate it to some NGO even after that, after a month. And this actually help us to grow even, and we actually take the right steps towards our journey.
True. Very true. Very well explained. So now
Thanks for
I
reminding again. I do again.
welcome, welcome. So now I know that some of you are thinking this sounds intense, very intense, right? Do I really need to go to these extremes? इतना करना पड़ेगा क्या सक्सेसफुल होने के लिए? दिमाग में आता है यार, क्या क्या करें हम, है ना? We think about this. So the truth is, gaining clarity isn't a gentle and comfortable process. I told you, it's very uncomfortable, and that is why people are not moving towards clarity. So it's about making tough choices, confronting hard truths, and committing with everything you have got. This is a truth. You need to accept it. Gaining clarity is not easy. It isn't a gentle and comfortable process. You have to make tough choices. You have to believe in hard truths, and you have to commit with whatever you have, right? But the good news is, once you have that clarity, everything else becomes easier. Decisions that used to paralyze you becomes obvious, and the task that used to drain you now will energize you. This is a good news. But why? Because clarity doesn't just guide your actions, it actually generates the energy you need to follow through. I told you in the beginning also that motivation and clarity, these both are now very contradictory. Here I am now at a stage where I can say that I have given you 6 ways to literally gain clarity, which are unconventional ways to gain clarity, right? And this clarity, once you generate this clarity, you generate energy. Simple. Clarity gives you energy. It's not just simple motivation and ways. It's the energy which you generate, and you need to just follow through. So energy now will be using as a byproduct of clarity. We talked about energy. So now what we are going to talk about is clarity momentum. We know there are a lot of engineers and science graduates here. What do you mean by momentum? Anybody? How do you define momentum?
Moving, sir.
Momentum is defined as mass into velocity. I've been into, I'm a
मैं भी
good.
वही बोलना चाह रहा था, मुंह में वही आ गया.
करेक्ट करेक्ट. सो मोमेंटम होता है कि जैसे आप ट्रेन को देखते हैं ना, ट्रेन से किसी को लगती है तो कितना वो बड़ा से बड़े ट्रक उड़ जाते हैं. क्यों उड़ जाते हैं? क्योंकि उसमें इतना मास है ना ट्रेन में, उसमें एक वेलोसिटी है. सो मास इनटू वेलोसिटी इज इम्प्लीफाइज द एंटायर लॉट ऑफ फोर्स. तो अभी हमें इस क्लैरिटी में मोमेंटम कैसे ला सकते हैं, उसकी बात अब हम लोग करेंगे, एंड विल सी हाउ इट हेल्प्स. सो एनर्जी एज अ बाय प्रोडक्ट ऑफ क्लैरिटी नाउ, राइट? So we are going to now see how it works. So now remember in the initial slides I talked about chasing motivation is like trying to catch smoke, impossible and incredibly draining. Here we are ready for a plot twist. When you have true clarity, energy finds you. It's not about you finding the energy, it's about energy finding you, which is called clarity momentum, right? So energy will find you when you have clarity. Mind it, the ball has now, the game has entirely changed. Now imagine you are in a foggy lake, right? There is a rowboat and you could clearly see anything in front of you because of the fog, right? You are just rowing. आप चप्पू चला रहे हो, आपको पता नहीं आप गोल गोल घूम रहे हो, किधर जा रहे हो, लेफ्ट एंड राइट, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट एबल टू सी विथ क्लैरिटी. करेक्ट. फिर क्या होता है, तुरंत थोड़ी देर में फॉग हटता है and you could see the shore you wanted to go. So what you'll be doing, you will start stroking towards the shore, right? Correct. So दोनों चीज यहीं पे होती है. If you are into the foggy state, you are unclear, so your life would be without clarity. The moment you see the shore where you want to go and the fog has moved out, you start rowing towards it and you reach your destination, right? So that's what it's all about. So this is called clarity momentum. Correct. So every stroke which you are now putting towards propelling yourself towards the shore, that is your energy, your excitement, and you are moving faster than you have ever thought, because you have already seen the goal. You have seen the goal. You are now clear that by rowing towards that direction, you are able to achieve that. That is called clarity momentum. Clear? So here's how clarity momentum works. Decision fatigue evaporates. So when you are clear, obviously, when you lack clarity, every little decision is going to drain your mental energy. Correct? आप डिसीजन नहीं लेते हो, क्या होता है, आपको बहुत तकलीफ होती है, यार ये करें क्या करें, नहीं समझ में आता, टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, यू आर नॉट क्लियर विथ योर गोल्स. So 90% of the decisions are made, if not made with crystal clear goals, they will definitely drain your energy. So that mental energy which you are wasting on trivial decisions, right? अभी क्या हो गया, now you are clear. When you are clear, you are laser focused on your key objectives. तो आपका एनर्जी बचा रहता है आपके शरीर में. तो क्या होता है, I'm talking about energy, clarity momentum, and this clarity momentum is giving you energy. How it is giving you an energy? By helping you remove this fatigue, right? Number one, it is like upgrading from a lucky bucket. Chalo, this is an example I gave you. Now the motivation equation flips. Normally हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं ना, ये हो जाएगा तो मैं करूंगा. Once I feel motivated, I'll do it. Clarity मिलने के बाद it उल्टा हो जाता है. एक्शन क्रिएट्स मोटिवेशन. आपके दिमाग में एक्शन रहेगा, मुझे ये काम करना है, मुझे लेट्स से 10 वीडियो बनाने हैं इस सप्ताह के लिए, तो एक्शन क्लियर है, तो फिर मोटिवेशन अपने आप आ जाता है करने के लिए. आपको मोटिवेशन के लिए अलग से जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. So the motivation equation is flipping just because you have clarity, and that clarity momentum is giving you energy to do that, right?
आलोक जी,
हाँ जी बताइए.
एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन है. अगर सपोज कोई, एक एग्जांपल है, कोई कोच अगर एक्शन ले रहा है, उसको क्लैरिटी है कि उसको क्या करना है, बट उसको रिजल्ट्स वो डिजायर्ड नहीं मिल रहे जो एक्सपेक्टेड होने चाहिए. मतलब एक्शन की क्लैरिटी है एंड ही इज आल्सो टेकिंग एक्शन, बट रिजल्ट्स वो अचीव नहीं हो रहे, तो उसके लिए क्या करना चाहिए?
वही चीज मैंने बताया ना, आपने वो जो 5 years वाला मैंने बोला था ना, कि आप लिखो कि आपने क्या क्या एक्शन लिया है और उसका रिजल्ट नहीं आया है. नाउ यू नीड टू अवॉइड दोस एक्शंस, डोंट नीड टू रिपीट. यदि आपने देख लिया कि आपने इतना किया है और उनसे उस एक्शन से आपको डिजायर्ड रिजल्ट नहीं मिला है ना, अवॉइड डूइंग दोस थिंग्स, डू समथिंग न्यू. एज सिंपल. इफ यू जस्ट कीप ऑन रिपीटिंग दोस थिंग्स, तो फिर हमेशा तो वही रहेगा ना. You are saying you are clear, or maybe that coach is clear that this is what I need to do. Did you validate it कि यही सही है, right? So again, validation आप कहाँ से ले रहे हो? Is it coming from your own mind or your own experience? How are you validating whether you are doing it is right or wrong? कौन बताएगा कि आप वो जो कर रहे हो सही है कि गलत है? हम बीमार भी पड़ते हैं, हमें कुछ दवाइयों के नाम पता है, करेक्ट? थोड़ा सा बुखार होता है, हम पैरासीटामोल टैबलेट्स ले लेते हैं, 2 दिन के बाद बुखार नहीं उतरता, हम डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं ना. क्यों जाते हैं? बिकॉज हमें पता है कि हमें ये पता नहीं है कि अब क्या लेना चाहिए, व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन. तो वी गो टू ए स्पेशलिस्ट एंड वी आस्क देम, वी पे देम टू टेक कंसल्टेशन, एंड दैट पर्सन विल से कि अच्छा आपको ये है एंड यू टेक दिस मेडिसिन, एंड वी डू दैट. सो नाउ आई एम आस्किंग यू, हाउ आर यू वैलिडेटिंग योर एक्शंस? Who is validating your actions? Actions, mind it, it's not about the thought. Thought भी है और action भी है. आपके केस में दोनों चीजें हैं. First of all, you need to validate your thoughts, and the second is you need to validate your actions. And then see if those actions are not giving you results, change the actions. And maybe to change the action, you need to change the thought as well. सब कुछ linked है. Thought से ही तो action आया. Action में भी फिर आपने how का जब अपना करना शुरू किया, then you found like these things are not working. So if these things are not working, go back to the dashboard, see what all you have done. And again, go back to another one step before that, saying from where this thought was derived and how did you validated it? How did you validate it to do this? तो ये सारी चीजें जब आप करोगे ना on a pen and paper, then you will be able to literally have more clarity in whatever things you are doing. Clarity in mind and clarity in thoughts and action. Yes, Meetu, आप कुछ कह रही हैं?
Sir, once again, can you go to the slide number 2 before that? Because I just missed it. Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Okay. So once again, if you can just once again describe, sir.
So I'm saying is, normally हम लोग क्या कहते हैं ना, यार आज बहुत पावरफुल लग रहा है, बहुत मोटिवेटेड हूँ, अब मैं काम करूंगा, है ना? जबकि यदि क्लैरिटी, उसमें क्लैरिटी आपको नहीं है, आप इंतजार करो कि कहीं से मोटिवेशन मिले, कहीं से एनर्जी मिले, कोई ज्ञान मिल जाए आपको और आप काम शुरू कर दो, कहीं से कुछ आपने सीख लिया और उस पर काम करना शुरू कर दो. दैट इज नॉट द राइट वे टू डू इट. सो व्हेन यू हैव क्लैरिटी, ये मोटिवेशन इक्वेशन फ्लिप हो जाता है. आप कहते हो मुझे पता है मुझे क्या करना है, अब मुझे मोटिवेशन की जरूरत नहीं है. सो एक्शन इज क्रिएटिंग मोटिवेशन टू यू. सो उस एक्शन, जो एनर्जी आपने बचाई है ना, by having clarity, that energy is now converting into actions, and actions are creating motivation for you. आपको मोटिवेशन की जरूरत ही नहीं है एक्चुअली, आप एक्शन ही कर रहे हो क्योंकि वो एनर्जी कन्वर्ट हो रहा है एक्शन में. ठीक है? Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
Anshul ji, did you get your answer?
Yes, somewhat, Alok ji.
ठीक है. See, I know you are coming from long, what do you say, history of doing a lot of activities. So these things cannot be discussed here, but we can discuss one-on-one on a different call, right? So now coming to the third point, your flow states become frequent. So you know that feeling of being in the zone, correct? हम लोग कहते हैं यार अब हम आ गए इस जोन में, राइट? वो जोन में कब आते हैं? जब हमें लगता है कि यार एफर्टलेसली कुछ कर रहे हैं, हमें ताकत नहीं लगाना पड़ा, हमारे एनर्जी अपने आप ही लग रहा है, बिकॉज वी हैव क्लैरिटी. सो हमें पता ही नहीं लगा हम 2 घंटा काम कर रहे हैं, 4 घंटा काम कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज द वर्क फील्स एफर्टलेस. सो द फ्लो बिकम्स फ्रीक्वेंट एंड फ्लुएंट. So this is a flow state. So clarity is your express ticket to getting there. So when you have clarity, your energy brings you in a state of flow. That is what it means. Right? So when you have clarity, you naturally set yourself in the flow, like asking your clear goals, checking it, immediately feedback on your progress, and a balance between your skill and the challenge. So clarity creates the perfect condition for flow, and it also the flow is like mainlining pure energy and productivity. तो theory है, मैं theory को ऐसे read कर दिया थोड़ा सा. कहने का purpose ये है कि जब automatically energy create हो जाती है ना, because of the clarity, ये अपने आप चीजें होने लगती है. आप खुद पूछोगे मैंने जो किया इसका क्या रिजल्ट आया, मैंने ये किया इसका क्या रिजल्ट आया, क्या प्रोग्रेस हुआ, कहाँ पे कमी है, कहाँ पे हमें और कुछ करने की जरूरत है. So this becomes a flow, right? And obstacles becomes opportunities. So this is a counterintuitive truth that with enough clarity, obstacles actually energize you, because when you are crystal clear on the destination, every obstacle becomes a puzzle to solve, not a reason to quit. Every problem which you think might be coming will be becoming a puzzle, and you will be able to solve it. So obstacle will become opportunities because you have clarity in your mind. As simple. सो इसका एग्जाम्पल मैंने दिया है. आप वीडियो गेम खेले होगे या खेलते होगे आज भी. सो आपको लगता है ना वीडियो गेम वो जो बच्चे खेलते हैं जो गन वाला होता है, मारते रहते हैं एक दूसरे को, पता नहीं उसका क्या नाम होता है, आई एम नॉट इनटू दैट. उसमें क्लैरिटी क्या होती है? जैसे आपको दिखता है कि कोई ओपोनेंट है, आप उसको तुरंत खटाखट खटाखट मारते जाते हो ना. तो वहां पे हैं ऑब्स्टेकल्स, बट क्या, व्हाट डू यू से?
I think Mortal Kombat.
हाँ, ऐसे बहुत सारे गेम्स हैं. आई एम वेरी बैड एट वीडियो गेम्स, सो मुझे नहीं पता, बट आई हैव सीन किड्स प्लेइंग दैट. उसमें क्या होता है, व्हेन यू आर क्लियर ऑन योर ओपोनेंट, राइट, तो आपको उनको मारने में आसानी हो जाती है ना. सो योर ऑब्स्टेकल्स बिकम्स योर अपॉर्चुनिटी. दिस इज व्हाट इज क्लैरिटी मोमेंटम इन एक्शन. यू नो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू एंड इट विल एक्साइट यू. आपको जब दिखता है ना वो बंदा है जो दुश्मन आपको दिखता है वीडियो गेम में, तो आपको खुशी होती है कि चलो दुश्मन दिख गया, मार देते हैं इसको. आपको उसको परेशानी नहीं होती है. एम आई राइट और रॉन्ग? आप उसको देख के घबराते नहीं हो. बिकॉज यू नो दैट क्लैरिटी इज देयर, वो दुश्मन है, मेरे हाथ में गन है, मुझे उसको मारना है. तो द ऑब्स्टेकल्स बिकम्स अपॉर्चुनिटीज, राइट? एंड
आलोक जी,
ऑब्वियसली.
एक
हाँ.
अनदर स्मॉल क्वेश्चन, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट।
हाँ, हाँ.
जैसे आपने बोला कि एक स्ट्रेटजी फॉलो की, ठीक है, वो कुछ टाइम तक फॉलो की, इट कैन बी 2 मंथ्स और 3 मंथ्स और वट एवर द टाइम इट इज, वो उसमें रिजल्ट नहीं मिला, तो हमको जैसे आप बोल रहे हो कि स्ट्रेटजी चेंज करनी चाहिए, तो फिर स्ट्रेटजी चेंज की, सेकंड स्ट्रेटजी भी गए, वो भी कुछ टाइम फॉलो की, फिर वो भी काम नहीं किया, अगर तो थर्ड स्ट्रेटजी भी गए, तो उसमें क्लैरिटी कहाँ मिले, कब मिलेगी, कैसे मिलेगी, कि हम किस स्ट्रेटजी को फॉलो करें, उसमें अश्योरेंस थोड़ा बहुत हो कि हमको रिजल्ट मिलने के चांसेस है, क्योंकि
देखिए,
ऐसे तो बंदा ट्राई करता ही रहेगा, करता ही रहेगा।
दैट इज वाई आई टोल्ड यू ना, ये जो आप एक्शंस की बात कर रहे हैं, जो स्ट्रैटेजी की बात कर रहे हैं, हु हैज गिवन यू द वैलिडेशन टू डू दिस स्ट्रैटेजी और दिस एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन यू आर डूइंग ऑन योर ओन? आप खुद से मल्टीपल चीजें कर रहे हो, किसी ने वैलिडेट किया है उसको, किसी से आपने पूछा है. इट्स लाइक टेकिंग अ मेडिसिन विदाउट नोइंग, विदाउट स्टडिंग एमबीबीएस. आपने अपने तुक्के में ये भी मेडिसिन ले लेता हूँ, या मैंने कहीं पढ़ा है, मैंने देखा है, यार इससे तो ठीक हो जाता है. आप यदि उस मॉडल में हो तो बहुत मुश्किल है. यू नीड टू बी हैविंग अ गाइड टू टेल यू दैट दिस इज द बेस्ट स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर यू. आई एम नॉट सेइंग यू नीड टू कॉपी एनीबडी. आपके लिए कौन सी स्ट्रैटेजी काम करेगी, आपका स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, आपका निश क्या है, आपके चैलेंजेस क्या हैं, आपके मार्केट में क्या हो रहा है, आपके इंडस्ट्री में क्या हो रहा है. Based on everything, somebody needs to validate whatever action you are going to do, and that person should be held responsible for your results and your actions. It's not about the strategy all the time. वो strategy तो देख रहे हो आप, कैसे उसको कितना बढ़िया से implement कर रहे हो. Why I'm saying this, I'm a party to lot of coaches, I'm coaching lot of people, और उनको मैं देखता हूँ, मैं कहता हूँ यार कंटेंट बना लो. एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूँ, कंटेंट बना लो. मैं बताता हूँ 100 में से 90 लोगों को कंटेंट बनाना नहीं आता, and everybody is literate. So you will say कि I'm creating content. How good your content is? Who is going to validate that? आपने कहा कि मेरे कोच ने कहा कि कंटेंट बना लो, मैंने कंटेंट तो बना लिया. कंटेंट कितनी क्वालिटी का बनाया? इट्स लाइक इफ समबडी वॉचेज अ यूट्यूब वीडियो, उसमें एक रेसिपी रहती है एक हलवा बनाने का. आपने रेसिपी देख ली, आपने बनाया, आपसे अच्छा नहीं बना, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि रेसिपी खराब है, इसका मतलब नहीं कि वो डिश खराब है, आपने उसको कितने अच्छे तरीके से बनाया. दैट विल गिव यू द टेस्ट इन द डिश. Similarly, here, when you are talking about a strategy, first of all, what is that strategy which is best suited to you? Number one, who is going to validate that? Once it is validated and that person is responsible enough to tell you that this strategy will work, let's say I'm responsible and there would be certain tweakings. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक strategy 100% सबके लिए काम करती है, but आपके लिए जो काम करेगा उसमें कुछ tweakings, but you will see the progress. सो देर इज नो वे कि आप बोल रहे हो कि एक स्ट्रेटजी काम नहीं करी, दूसरी काम नहीं करी, तीसरी काम नहीं करी. जिंदगी भर एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं करना होता है. सो यू नीड टू फाइंड समबडी हु कैन हेल्प यू डू दैट. डोंट जस्ट कीप एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग ऑन योरसेल्फ. यस.
मुझे लगता है ना कि कोचेस के साथ ये हो जाता है कि हम लोग अगर स्ट्रेटजी फॉलो करते हैं तो हम सेल्फ वैलिडेशन वाले मोड में चले जाते हैं कि अच्छा ये स्ट्रेटजी काम नहीं की तो शायद ये रिजल्ट नहीं मिलेगा, ऐसे दूसरी करी तो ये नहीं किया, तो खुद से ही हम सोच लेते हैं कि ये शायद मेरे लिए काम ना करे,
एग्जैक्टली.
बजाय कि किसी मेंटर या गाइड के पास जाने के या उससे कंसल्ट करने के।
एग्जैक्टली वही हो रहा है ना. आप अपने एक्सपीरियंस के हिसाब से, अपनी लर्निंग्स के हिसाब से कर रहे हो, एंड यू आर जस्ट मतलब डूइंग हिट एंड ट्रायल्स. अ कोच विल हेल्प यू टू डू द राइट थिंग्स इन द राइट टाइम. That is why coaches are required. यदि मैं कहूँ कि मैं I'm an athlete, I'll tell you I'm an athlete. I know how to do good exercises, but I'm not a yoga expert. I'm not a fitness coach. I cannot teach somebody to do fitness things, right? मुझे अपने लिए पता है मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. कुछ काम करता है, कुछ नहीं करता है, दैट्स ओके. क्योंकि मेरे लिए वो उतनी प्रायोरिटी पे नहीं है, जितना मुझे चाहिए मुझे मिल रहा है. बट फॉर यू टू गेट इनटू सक्सेस, स्पेशली बिजनेस की बात हम कर रहे हैं, तो यू नीड टू फाइंड समबडी हु कैन हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड who are you as a person, what are your strengths, what are the strategies which you need to implement to get success. तो ये सारी चीजें वैलिडेशन की चीजें हैं. सेल्फ वैलिडेशन आप मत करो. सेल्फ वैलिडेशन वही दवाई वाली बात हो गई कि पैरासीटामोल खा लिया, क्रोसिन खा लिया, डोलो खा लिया, नहीं हो रहा है यार, तो अब क्या करें, तब तक स्थिति खराब हो जाती है.
आलोक जी,
स्थिति
एक क्वेश्चन है।
यस. यस, यस, प्लीज.
कई बार क्या होता है कि हम वही प्रोसेस फॉलो कर रहे होते हैं जो बताया होता है।
हम्म.
ओके, लाइक वी आर फॉलोइंग द सेम प्रोसेस या प्रिस्क्रिप्शन दैट इज गिवन टू अस,
राइट.
बट आफ्टर लॉन्ग टाइम वो भी वर्क नहीं करता है, तो देन यू स्टार्ट टू हैव अ सेकंड थॉट कि क्या मुझे को क्लैरिटी नहीं है, व्हाट आई एम डूइंग इज करेक्ट और नॉट, द व्हाट आई एम फॉलोइंग द पाथ इज राइट और नॉट, तो व्हाट टू डू इन।
आई टेल यू. अब आपको जो प्रिस्क्रिप्शन दिया गया वो फॉर्मूला कितना पुराना है? 1 साल पुराना है, 2 साल पुराना है, 3 साल पुराना है. बिजनेस इज वेरी डायनेमिक. जो चीजें 3 साल पहले काम कर रही थी आज नहीं काम कर रही हैं, जो 2 साल पहले काम कर रही थी वो काम नहीं कर रही, जो 6 महीने पहले कर रही थी। यदि आप 6 महीना पुराना प्रिस्क्रिप्शन लेके आज जाओ डॉक्टर के पास, बोलो कि 6 महीना पहले आपने ये दवा दिया था, मुझे फिर प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, तो डॉक्टर भी बोलेगा ये तो 6 महीने पुरानी बात होगी, आप फिर से जाओ टेस्ट करा के आओ। Correct, let me see what's your problem. So if you are saying that something has been done earlier, that might have done earlier, that's okay, but आज आपके लिए क्या चाहिए वो तो आज एक्सेस करना पड़ेगा ना। आप पुराने फॉर्मूला से आज कैसे रिजल्ट एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो? एंड नोबडी कैन क्लेम कि एक ही फॉर्मूला है जो जिंदगी भर चलता ही रहेगा, सदियों तक चलता रहेगा।
वो तो नहीं होगा।
सॉफ्टवेयर अपडेट।
या यू नीड टू अपडेट योर सॉफ्टवेयर। एग्जैक्टली, आपका सॉफ्टवेयर अपडेट नहीं हुआ है, आप पुराने सॉफ्टवेयर से काम कर रहे हो एंड यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग रिजल्ट्स, तो वो तो दिक्कत होगी ना फिर।
राइट राइट।
Yeah, I hope I have answered your question, right?
यस यस सर।
Okay. So we have talked about this. Now, last strategies, how to tap into the supercharged state of harnessing clarity momentum. Just 3 strategies. Number 1, start with a clarity sprint. Take a day. अपने आप के लिए ऑफ रखिए, अपने साथ कुछ देर बैठिए, डीप थिंकिंग कीजिए, set your goals and priorities, use the unconventional methods which we have already discussed. The clarity you will gain will kick off your momentum. बहुत सिंपल चीज बता रहा हूं, you can note it down, how you are going to harness the clarity momentum and how you are going to supercharge your state. 3 strategies. Number 1 is starting with a clarity sprint. अपने साथ समय बिताइए, एक दिन कुछ मत कीजिए, कोई एक दिन से कहीं आंधी तूफान नहीं आने वाला, दुनिया उसी स्पीड से घूमेगी जिस स्पीड से घूम रही है, पृथ्वी उसी स्पीड से चक्कर लगाएगी सूरज के जितने स्पीड से लगा रही है। There is nothing gonna change, right? So what you have to do is take a day off, sit with yourself, rejuvenate and deep thinking करिए and set your goal and priorities. Try to implement the unconventional methods and see you will be definitely kicking your momentum. Second, create clarity rituals, build habits. डेली हैबिट्स ऐसा बनानी है, लाइक मॉर्निंग जर्नलिंग हो गया, अपने गोल से कनेक्ट होने का हो गया, रिव्यू का एक प्रोसेस बनाइए, राइट, सो दैट यू आर लिटरली इन अ हैबिट ऑफ डूइंग दिस। सिंपल है, कोई मुश्किल काम नहीं है। एंड द थर्ड इज सेलिब्रेटिंग योर विंस। एवरी टाइम एंड ईच टाइम you make a decision and that aligns with your goals and vision, celebrate it. That will help you reinforcing the neural paths that we have already talked about. आपके न्यूरल पाथ को मैसेज ब्रेन को मिलेगा कि भाई ये सही हो रहा है, एंड दैट मैसेज विल कीप ऑन कंपाउंडिंग। तो ब्रेन का डिफॉल्ट मोड बन जाएगा व्हेन यू टेक अ डिसीजन एंड यू सेलिब्रेट, तो ब्रेन विल आल्सो हेल्प यू मेकिंग डिसीजन सिंपलर फॉर यू, राइट? So now we are almost done. What's the time? Let me see. We have 10 minutes. Can we do a clarity audit right here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a document with you. You just need to give a marks. I'll show you the document first and I'll share right here so that you are clear what you need to do. Give me a second. So this is the clarity audit sheet which I have created for you guys. इसमें करना क्या है, इसमें 10 क्वेश्चंस है, राइट? हर क्वेश्चंस के 2-2 पार्ट है, आपको 1 to 5 मतलब 5-5 मार्क्स के सारे क्वेश्चन एक तरह से समझो, है ना? ठीक है, 10 into 2 20 क्वेश्चन है, हर क्वेश्चन का 5 मार्क्स हैं, राइट? एवरी क्वेश्चन कैरी 5 मार्क्स। यू हैव टू पुट मार्क्स हियर अगेंस्ट एवरी क्वेश्चन। अपने मैं आपको ये शेयर करता हूँ, पुट क्लियरली विदाउट इन बीइंग cheating yourself. You have to be brutally honest and you have to put marks here out of 5. So 20 into 5 100 marks हो जाएंगे। Out of 5 you need to put 1 to 5, 1 being the completely unclear and 5 being the most clear, and you put here and you will get a score. When you get a score, you will see where you are, whether you are a clarity champion, whether you are a clarity contender, whether you are a clarity novice, or you are into clarity emergency. That will help you. So I'm going to share this document with you. Just take a, I don't know whether you have a printer as of now. Printer की जरूरत नहीं है, आप सॉफ्ट कॉपी से ही देख करके 1 2 3 4 आप क्वेश्चन नंबर देके you can create marks for yourself. ठीक है? So let me put it in the chat. Just a second. भरने की जरूरत नहीं अंशुल जी, don't put it, you can just do it like, ना, what do you say? Okay, just a second. I'm just attaching this document. Yes, here it is. So I've sent this document on this chat. Open that document and start writing the question number and AB. Every question has two parts, AB or 1, 2. Give marks out of 5 so that the total aggregate becomes 100 and you rate yourself how is your score. That's the thing which I wanted to do to make you understand at what level of clarity you are. Has everybody received it in the chat? Yeah. Do it and mention your score in the chat. I want to see that. That's the beauty of doing workshop. Little exercises which will help you. Yeah. Yes, Hemant. Please do that exercise.
आलोक जी यहाँ पे 1 to 10 बोल रहा है.
नहीं 1 to 5 करिए. एक्चुअली मैंने ना क्वेश्चन थोड़े से चेंज करे थे, तो एवरी क्वेश्चन के 2 पार्ट हैं.
अच्छा,
Right?
ओके.
हाँ.
तो 1 to 5. ओके.
1 to 5. तो 20 into 5 100 मार्क्स हो जाएंगे.
हाँ.
Good, good, good. Tomorrow we'll be doing, little exercises by applying this philosophy in our business, the clarity things. Anybody completed? These are simple questions. I don't think it will take much time. I'm highly excited to see the scores. सिर्फ नंबर से तो लिखने हैं ना बे, 20 क्वेश्चन के आगे। डोंट राइट एनीथिंग, वो सब बाद में आप कर लेना, उसमें जो जो क्वेश्चंस है उसको देख करके, बट अभी सिर्फ स्कोर, यू जस्ट नीड टू पुट द नंबर्स अगेंस्ट ईच क्वेश्चन एंड टेल मी द स्कोर. 69. Very nice. So where do you stand? 69 is, what is the range? 69 will say you are clarity novice. You have some clear areas.
Borderline in the clarity novice and the content.
Yeah, so time to roll up your sleeves, it says.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So good that you are open and true to yourself. That's the main objective.
Because I
Okay.
have to be, I know during the exercise, it actually gives you very harsh decision to take. Okay,
Hmm.
whether you go for that, and you have to be very clear about it. I have the clarity whatever I am doing, whatever
Hmm.
I am right thinking of, whether
True.
it is right or not.
Correct, correct, correct. Anybody else? नमंता जी, दिवाकर जी, पौलमी, अशिता, हेमंत जी, मिठू जी, कैसे हैं आप लोग? जल्दी जल्दी स्कोर बताइए. Nothing to be shy of. See, my way of doing is, I'll tell you, it's from very beginning in my life. जब मुझे कुछ नहीं आता है ना, या दिवाकर जी 74, वेरी नाइस, गुड स्कोर. मुझे कुछ नहीं आता ना, मैं सीधे बोलता मुझे नहीं आता, भी कोई मुझे सिखा दो. आई एम वेरी ओपन एंड ब्लंट. दैट इज द वे टू लर्न. A person who is shy in learning cannot grow. Yeah, Hanumanta ji is at 73, very nice, good. So you people are clarity contender, you are on the right track, but there's room for sharpening your focus. That's good. Okay. Ashita, less than 50. Ashita, you need to work on a lot of things, right?
Yes, yes, Alokji.
Yeah, I could make it out. I can see actually when you talk, I could see a lot of doubts on your face in your sentence. So I understand that. But it's good that you are true to yourself. Hemant ji is at 48. Hemant ji, what do you do? मुझे आपके बारे में ज़्यादा पता नहीं है. If you can just talk about it, I'll be able to relate it with more. But anyway, ठीक है. Most of the people have done. So the point here is why I wanted to have this sheet worked out right here, because I wanted to see what is the clarity index and how you people are doing moving ahead. Right. The purpose is to make sure that whatever we are going to do is going to lead us to something. Okay. Where is it gone? Just a second. Yeah. So okay, so we have done all this. We are almost finishing today's thing. So now here I wanted to tell you, don't worry on the score part. Regardless of whatever score you have got, right? Don't worry on the score part, I am saying. Regardless of the score you have, uh, identify the 3 lowest scoring areas from the your audit. आप देखो कि उसमें 3 lowest area कौन से हैं. ये आपका आज का चैलेंज है जो मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ. You need to do it on your own. Identify the 3 lowest scoring areas from the audit. For each area, write down one specific action you can take in the next 24 hours to improve your clarity. ठीक है? And schedule these actions in your calendar right now. I'll wait. Can you make out 3 lowest scoring areas from your audit? Now there are 10 questions. Every question has 2 subsets, 5 each. If you sum total, then you will be finding the lowest scoring areas, 3 lowest scoring areas. So out of these 3, from each area, write down one specific action which you are going to take in the next 24 hours to improve your clarity. And then the actions schedule in your Google Calendar. You might be knowing to use Google Calendar, and should schedule it that at this time you'll be doing that. कर सकते हैं? So it should not be like, only listening and not doing that. My purpose here, why I named it, I could have named it as a master class or a training. This is not a training, this is a workshop. I want to take actions here, right here. अभी नहीं करेंगे फिर आप सोचेंगे ना बाद में कर लेंगे, तो फिर बाद वो आराम से हो जाएगा, फिर भूल जाएंगे, फिर होता भी नहीं है, कई बार होता नहीं है, मिस कर जाते हैं हम लोग. So do it right here and make it part of your calendar so that you don't miss it. Right? We are almost done. Time भी हो गया है, हमारे actions भी complete हो गए हैं. So just if you want, I can share this actually slide again. What you need to do. Yeah. ठीक है. And if you have any questions, although अभी time तो खत्म हो गया, but I am open to taking questions. If you have any questions regarding this, although I have taken questions in between as well, if you have any questions, you are welcome to ask. So today's session is over from my side. If you have any questions, you can ask right here, or we can do it tomorrow as well. कल हम लोग फिर मिल रहे हैं 7 बजे. But tomorrow we are not going to talk about the theory part. We are going to talk about actually what are you going to do in your business and how you're going to take it forward as a coach, as a business owner, as a freelancer, so that you are full-fledged into action by with clarity, actually with clarity in action. That is what my purpose is. Right?
Alok ji, may I?
Yeah, sure, please.
My least score is the last question. Can you quickly identify and address emotional barriers to your progress? So how do I just take this?
Emotional barriers means if something is stopping you from doing and you feel, let's say you don't feel good about it. Let's say, I'll tell you an example. There are coaches who are very hesitant to even ask for money. They are like, coaching is supposed to be a noble cause, but if it is a business, you need to charge money for that, right? That could be one emotional barrier. At times, you need to be a little hard or push it to your mentees. People, you cannot keep everyone happy at all the time. So that could be one of the emotional barriers. So how good or bad you are, you can score that way. Did it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, maybe I think I have to connect one-on-one with you for some.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm open.
I get it.
Okay. So any other question?
I really love this session, especially the 6 steps of clarity.
Thank you so much. I'd like to, have a detailed feedback if you want, open to, share with me.
Yeah, I'm ready, Alok.
Yeah, please share because this is a very different topic which I brought into consideration. Nobody talks about it. So how did you feel? We spent now it's been 2 hours. So how was your experience with this 2 hours in this particular training, this workshop? I didn't hear you. आपकी voice चली गई थी.
No, I'm really happy with the thing. There's a lot, at least there's a lot of clarity in connecting with you.
Thank you so much. Good. Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to, share their views? I'd love to hear that.
I think, Alok, I would like to share is that,
Okay.
at least once we have understood the various aspects of clarity, now at least we will focus dedicatedly on this thing, because that will be our motivation factor as well. If we have clarity,
Yeah.
that will drive all our future actions. So yes, it's a big eye opener.
Good. How do you rate it? Out of 10, how many marks would you give me on this subject, on this clarity concept which I shared?
I will give you 8 to 9 marks because for me at least I am right now starting things and everything. So for me it was a great motivation. Because motivation, yes, I understand, doesn't only come from mindset things. It comes from, if you have a clarity over things, then yes, it will help you keep motivated.
Thank you so much, Ashita. Take care. Do good. Who is else? Next.
So first of all, thank you so much for this amazing session. And actually, for me, this overall session, put me in a situation that where do I belongs to. So give me a clarity that वो कहता है ना कि हर्ष रियलिटी, ठीक है, अपने औकात दिखा दिया, ठीक है. So where I do belong. पहले हम सोचते थे कि okay, I have so much of clarity. Okay, I can do it. I can do it. Now,
Okay.
going on these 6 or 7 stages of all those things, what I found, and specifically after this audit, actually, this is the ground reality.
Yeah.
It's an eye-opening.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
where do I
Yeah.
stand? So,
Sure.
and where in which part I need to work on? That's the more important sentences.
Correct. Correct.
Thank you so much for this.
Welcome. Thank you so much that you got lots of clarity. And yes, we need to accept this fact that something is missing and we should be working. Nothing bad about it.
Exactly.
Good. Good. Thank you. Who else?
Yes,
Mittu.
sir.
Yes,
Thank
Mittu.
you so much for your energy, and because very high energy you have, you have explained today, sir, and it was really mind-boggling, I can say, because so long I was having that, that myth of the motivation, because I am very fond of motivational videos, because early morning I'll get up, I'll go for a walk, and anything will happen in my life, small, big. Always, even in my kitchen also, I will just put it in my ear. So now you have just, that I need to get rid of that ghost, basically. What I understood, instead of that, I should really give that time for thinking, for creativity and for focus, because whatever the lowest area where I found I am like lacking on, like mostly on the measuring, like reviewing that, the consistency, then focus, goals. These are the very basic areas and which need to be focused. And today's session was really, because all the ways you have given so perfect examples, because we can resonate with so many things what happened, we were following or we were doing the things. So today's session was like that we can resonate with all these examples, the steps we have taken, what kind of mistakes we have done, what actually we are not supposed to do. So now we can understand where actually we are going wrong. When you said that, you just think of that last 1 year, why it was not happened. When you really analyze the things, where you are going, where you were going wrong and what it could have happened. So, and focusing on that goal, like when you are on 80 years and that time, how will you think if you are going for failure? So if this kind of, like, mind ko jhanjur diya bolte hain, so it was just really that with brainstorming, very good brainstorming you have done today. So that this is, it's just implementation workshop it kind of happened. So it was really, because feeling very energetic actually.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
nice, sir.
So
Thank you
good that
so
you
much.
got a lot of clarity, and let's keep focused so that we do everything with clarity. अंधेरे में काम नहीं करना है. Okay, good. Anybody else? Divakar ji, Paulami, Hemant ji, want to add anything here?
No, right. It was a nice session, at least on the clarity part.
Hmm.
People or one don't know what they don't know. So sometimes
Exactly.
that clarity is also required, that what we don't know.
Yes,
That
yes,
is
yes.
good.
Good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
For
Paulami.
me, the exercise was very helpful actually, because the questions were so apt, and I took a lot of time to actually introspect and then answer and then score myself.
Yeah.
So throughout the entire workshop, we discussed a lot of things on clarity, and it was also good to hear other coaches, as sometimes we often overlook our problems, but when someone else is sharing, and then I can resonate with that. Okay, this is something I'm also facing, or I'm also witnessing similar kind of problems. So
Yeah.
it was though it was a very close group, but still I think the interactions were very interesting, and looking forward to tomorrow's session. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Thank you, Paulami. Take care. And then we're left with only one person, Hemant. Hemant, would you like to share some of your feedback? कुछ करना चाहोगे, Hemant? If you are there, I'm not sure. चलिए ठीक है. So we are done for the day. I hope you people have got the value. That was my promise. मैंने अपना promise पूरा किया. Yes or no? मैंने अपना प्रॉमिस पूरा किया. थैंक यू सो मच. तो कल हम लोग विल बी एक्चुअली इम्प्लीमेंटिंग सर्टेन थिंग्स. नाउ अब आपके पास कल दिन भर का समय है. थोड़ा सा अच्छे से सोच लीजिए वेयर और यू नीड मोर फोकस सो दैट मोर क्लैरिटी इज देयर. उस क्लैरिटी को अब हम लोग अपने बिजनेस में कल यूटिलाइज करेंगे. सो टुमारो विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट द बिजनेस पार्ट ऑफ द एंटायर क्लैरिटी. ठीक है, उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की हम लोग कुछ कुछ प्रयास करेंगे जैसे आज हमने किया है. We'll be doing those again tomorrow on the spot, right? So thank you so much and have a good sleep. Tomorrow we are again back at 7 and we'll make it happen. Thank you so much.
आलोक जी, मुझे एक चीज बोलना था आपसे.
हाँ हाँ, बताइए प्लीज.
Tomorrow I might not be available. Not for the reason behind for not me. Actually, you might have heard that there is a cyclone warning over this the eastern part,
हाँ
right?
हाँ हाँ हाँ, yeah.
So there is a precautionary thing. Already the miking has been done. I don't know what will happen in tomorrow because
Okay.
the power cut or this other things might happen. If
No
this
problem.
goes, then I might have to drop. There
No
is
problem. Try if it is possible. Do come.
yes, surely,
We'll
surely,
have,
surely.
yeah.
I could not afford to miss it. It is
Thank you so
obvious.
much.
Same
चलिए,
here.
take care.
Power is there, we can join. I think Bengal, we have this forecast, but then if we have internet and power, we can join.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the thing. Actually.
चलिए, ठीक है. Take care, guys, and have good sleep. And we'll meet tomorrow again.
Sure.
See you. Bye.
Night.
Take care.